Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday evening? Normally it's Mondays, but this week it is Tuesdays. I will explain a little bit later because it's a funny story, and I'll wait and see if we have any guests coming up. How's everybody in the chat doing? Hope you're having a good week so far. We have a few things to talk about. Surprisingly, the delay of streaming was kind of in our favor, because we got the X-Men trailer, like an official X-Men trailer. And I haven't watched the real one yet. Let's move that a little bit this way. So we'll be able to watch that. So that's good. We also have some information on the other leaked trailer that came out. We'll be talking about that as well. Some news about Star Wars that not sure if it's real or not, but we're going to go over it a little bit because a lot of the negative hate channels have been having a field day with it. So we'll be taking a look at that and a few other small things to talk about. So hope y'all are ready. How's everybody doing tonight? Who do we got in the chat over here? Lone Wolf is here. Good to see you. What's up, Reed? Naruto in the house. One Marvel fan is here. Fatman plays Keyblade Master Jeffrey. Latin Shark is in the building. Jose is here. Silhouetted Animator says YouTube giving 3 ads instead of 2. I don't know. Nothing about that. Serenity's here. Parker's in the building. Good to see everybody. Spooky Kitty's here. Maestro's here. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much for being here. What's up, Chris? How are you doing? We have nobody in the green room right now, but that's okay. We're going to chill. We're going to have a good night together. The super chat goal is listed. We're doing, I think it's 10 super chats at any tier tonight. We'll try and get there. So if you want to contribute, go ahead. We got the ball rolling with Naruto here. I will start a poll for bonus topics when we get to that point. If you guys didn't see, I made a video the other day talking about, I was doing my research for the essay video that I'm making about Marvel Phases 4 and 5. And I was actually kind of shocked. Some of the stuff that I forgot about the MCU as I was looking through the Wikipedia pages and going to different websites and stuff, I was really shocked to find out there's a lot of things there that even I forgot about. Like how phases ended, what movies were in what phase, things like that. So that's going to be a fun video. All right, Naruto, let's see what your super chat is here. $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Lance had a crash out moment on his stream earlier. He called Patrick Stewart Patrick Newsom. What? Patrick Newsom? What's the context? I wonder what the context for that is. Patrick Newsom. How did we get there? Anyway, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. We got a member chat from Silhouetted Animator, who's been a member for 1 month, but you've been a member more than that. I don't know why it says 1 month unless there was like a lapse or something like that. Wonder if Doom indirectly prevents Xavier's seizure in 2028 in Logan. I don't know. Not sure. It's a cool theory. Very cool theory. Just curious, you play Dead by Daylight? No. I know what it is. I've watched people play it, but yeah. Well, I haven't seen, so I've seen leaked things from that trailer, but I haven't watched the trailer. So we're going to be watching it for the first time tonight together for me. It'll probably be ripped out of the stream because that's what they love to do. I can't tell you guys how many times I get done with a stream and then I have to go and see that, like, they've claimed something or some bullshit like that. It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. What do we got here? I'm looking at all my tabs. What should we start with? We'll start with this one. Start with some Supergirl stuff. Let's see. Why not? All right, so this came from a Variety article. I had to double check. There's so much fake stuff coming out there's so much fake stuff that I always have to double check, triple check stuff that I find online. Even if it's got a link to something, it could be fake. James Gunn says Supergirl doesn't follow the Woman of Tomorrow comic religiously. I love Millie Alcock in the movie. It's a space fantasy, which is like Guardians in a way, but based on the Tom King book. It doesn't follow religiously, but it has a lot of the core of that there. So what we see in the trailer for Supergirl, which I liked most of it. I thought it was a good trailer. Paigey didn't like it. If you didn't see the after party from Saturday, go check that out. Paigey has a lot of hot takes. So he wasn't a fan of it. I liked the trailer. I thought it was good. But I was watching the trailer and thinking a lot of it did look like stuff from the comic series. But here we're seeing there's a lot of stuff that doesn't follow the book religiously. So I would say first, Krim obviously doesn't look the same as he does in the comics. Lobo being there isn't the same as it is in the comics. And there's probably a few other things in the story that don't connect because it is in the DCU. But Tom King works with them. You know what I mean? So any changes they make, he's obviously going to be involved with it. And, you know, I feel like that's a good thing, right? It didn't like the comic at all to you, so you didn't think any of it looked the same? I thought it felt very, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It felt very connected to the spirit of that comic to me. Like the vibe of it did. You're not going to, look, the artwork is beautiful. I don't think there's anything they could do in the trailer or in the movie, honestly, to look as beautiful as the artwork from the comic book. But that's just me. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see is there anything else in this article at all? I'm sure you guys have already, like, most of you already read it. Let's see here. James Gunn on making Superman, not being interested in prestige projects and DC Studios' future. Let's see here. James Gunn looks tired but energized. Have we ever listened to these right here? It says 8-minute listen. I think we clicked on this once. This voice is awful. Let's just listen to this.
James Gunn on making a Superman, not being interested in a prestige projects and DC Studios' future. James Gunn looks tired but energized as he settles into his chair for the Variety Awards Circuit podcast, having just flown in from Atlanta. He's already into pre-production on Man of Tomorrow, the follow-up to this summer's Superman.
Like, I understand people with visibility issues or vision issues probably find that to be very helpful. I wish it was a little bit more natural sounding. It sounds too much like a robot to me. All right, so he's on his follow-up to Summer Superman, so exhaustion would be expected. Gunn is not only directing the film, but he's also running DC Studios alongside Peter Safran in an unprecedented balancing act he calls the hardest movie I've ever made. I'm always, like, whenever I think about this with James Gunn, it's always baffling to me that he even took the job. That he even said yes. Look, it's a great job. 100%. Being in charge of DC, being able to make the decisions and put the projects together, great job. But if you're a director that wants to do stuff other than comic books, other than DC, how do you do that? Is he ever going to be able to make another thing that isn't connected to DC? And does he even care? Does he even give a shit? I don't know. The conversation is taking place only 2 hours before the entertainment landscape shifted, with Netflix announcing an $82 billion acquisition of Warner Brothers, a reminder of how quickly the ground beneath Hollywood industry, DC, and Gunn himself continues to move. By the way, I want to point out, while we're talking about this here, it does look like Netflix is going to get Warner Brothers, for better or worse. It does look like that's going to happen. Because it doesn't seem like Warner Brothers is interested in the Paramount stuff. Probably because, again, Paramount's deal is iffy, wishy-washy. It's not great. So I think Netflix is gonna stick the landing. We have to talk about some other stuff that was said about that later. Nonetheless, we're talking about Superman, where Gunn leans in, his eyes brighten in discourse, discusses what drew him to the character, which wasn't the scale or mythology. Here we go. When I first talked to the cast and crew, I wanted to make something about goodness. This guy isn't perfect. Even though he's Superman, he's really just trying to do his best. He's good-natured, he's loving, he sees the best in everyone. So this is the way he has sort of put together Superman. It's the way Superman has been crafted and established in the DCU, which I think is really close to most iterations of Superman in the comics. As you guys know, we exist in a world where there's like tons of different versions of any popular character, especially if you're dealing with like the multiverse or one-off stories or, you know, Elseworld, things like that. You're dealing with all these things. You're going to get different versions of these characters. And we've seen a lot of them over the years. But I think this describes, in my opinion, the way most people think of Superman. When they think of what Superman represents and who he is as a person and what he's trying to do with the world. That's what this feels like to me. And that's what I got from the movie. So even if you don't like the movie, like say you don't like the vibe of the movie or you don't like the, you know, any parts of it that sort of lean into like the more gun stuff or whatever, I think they nailed this aspect of Superman. That's what I think personally. That idea was Superman is not a god, but sincere, sometimes awkward moral presence. That became Gunn's anchor, and he credits Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman for crystallizing that approach. That was the thing that hooked me. He shares that big lug of a superhero being genuinely kind, and that's what I took from that book. Interesting. I'm trying to see if there's any more quotes from him here. All right. What made Superman the hardest film you've directed? This was the hardest movie I've ever made. The next hardest was probably the first Guardians. With Guardians, you were building a corner of the universe that felt completely different from everything else Marvel was doing at the time. Here, I was reorienting something everyone already thinks they understand. Strangely, it's the most comic book driven thing I've ever done, more than any of my other superhero films. We talked about that a little bit, and I have thought about it. Like, did people not, were they not pedantic about Gunn before? Because he wasn't writing mainstream characters. You know, with like Guardians, obviously he took a group of characters in the comics that comic fans might be familiar with, but the general public didn't know. And he had the opportunity to really bring them out for the first time to everybody. And so he had an opportunity to do that without any sort of like standard or expectations or anything like that when it came to Guardians of the Galaxy. With Superman, you have decades and decades of history. Decades of history where, like, your grandparents probably know about Superman. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot riding on that, which is why I knew when this movie came out, before we ever even saw any of it, no trailers, no teasers, that it was going to be tough for anyone to just go in and take this for what it was. It was going to be tough. You're either going to go in and feel a certain kind of way about Superman. You're going to go in and you're a Snyder fan and you just don't want to like this version anyway. You go in, you're not a Gunn fan. You don't want to think about it that way. All these other things, none of those things are going to work 100% of the time because you're going to have people with different opinions about stuff. And I think that was one of the biggest issues he had with Superman in the beginning. How did assembling your creative team shape the film? I've worked with many of the people for years. Beth, is it Michael or Mickle? My production designer, I think it's Michael. I could be wrong. Correct me in the chat. You guys love to do that. Steph Soretti has overseen visual effects for multiple projects now. Being in charge of DC meant I could finally keep the team together instead of losing people between films. That continuity matters. You know, I have to talk about this because we went back and forth about it several times over many streams. People gave James Gunn shit because he was working with a lot of the same people that he worked with on previous projects. Sound people, lighting people, cinematography, even actors, things like that. Think about this. You get this big job. You get a big job. You're like, I am now in charge of DC and I am making the Superman movie, the new Superman movie for everyone. It's supposed to be a movie for everybody. That's what you're doing. Why would he go in and start picking a bunch of people that he doesn't know to come on to the project. Let's be serious here. Let's be for real. Why would he pick people he doesn't know to come in and help him with something that's extremely important and has a lot riding on it? Why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense. So for me, if I'm looking at it from my standpoint, say it was me and they gave me the keys to the car, I would probably do the same thing. I would want to work with people that I know can get the job done, people that I trust, people that I've worked with on other projects. Now, I know we've talked about it. Silhouetted Animator here keys in on this and says Martin Scorsese did the same. He's not the only one. A lot of directors and a lot of people in Hollywood work with a lot of the same people. But there were folks that didn't like that. They didn't like the fact that James Gunn was working with people that he's worked with before, for better or worse. And again, I'm not a huge James Gunn stan, but it makes sense if you look at it. Let's see. Here, this is a good one. This is a question I've had for a while. Thank you for asking this. How does it feel to be both a filmmaker and a studio head at the same time? I don't think it's ever really been done. Even Walt Disney was more of a producer than a director. It's an experiment. And yes, sometimes it probably sounds like madness, especially since I don't make the most conventional films. But I love big spectacle. That's my jam. I originally said no to the job. I didn't want to do what Kevin Feige does. I remember we talked about this. James Gunn did not want to be a part of doing all of this. He didn't want to be the Kevin Feige for DC. I do remember that now. I didn't want to do what Kevin Feige does, but once Peter and I realized what we'd be doing together, it became exciting. I still don't know if it's sustainable. I still don't know if I still don't know if it's sustainable. Try that again. Long term. It's a lot. There just aren't enough hours in the day. So he's already saying like this might not work out. You know what I mean? That's interesting. Let me think about that for a second. I don't think he's saying the DCU would go away. I don't think that's what he's saying here. You could sensationalize it a little bit and say that's what he's saying. I don't think that's what he's saying. What I think he's talking about is just the amount of time and energy that's put into it and how exhausting it is. That's what I think he's saying. But I could see how they could twist this around and make it into something else, for sure. Let's see here. Anything else interesting? Why did Guardians of the Galaxy feel like the right leap into big budget filmmaking? I had walked away from another studio project because they stripped everything personal out of it. Then Guardians came along and I thought, no one else can make this movie the way I can. I wanted to make a space opera. I love raccoons. It felt completely me. That's always been my goal, to make big movies that still feel personal. Interesting. What can you tell us about Man of Tomorrow? At its core, it's about Clark and Lex. I relate to both of them. That's wild. You can relate to the Lex that you created? Hold on. Fam, you can relate to the Lex that you created? Are really? All right. I relate to Lex's ambition and obsession. Holy shit, those are two bad qualities in Lex. All right. Yeah, minus the murder. I don't know. I still feel like it's hard to relate to Lex on these issues and not connect it to this one. It's hard because that's part of his ambition and obsession, right? This leads, these two things right here, ambition and obsession in Lex specifically, lead to this. They lead to that, everyone. And I relate to Superman's belief in people, his Midwestern values. They're two sides of me. Okay. That doesn't really tell us anything, by the way. What can you tell us about Man of Tomorrow? Nothing! I can't tell you anything about Man of Tomorrow. Let's see here. That's it? That's the whole thing? That's the whole thing. Okay. All right. All right, we got another super chat over here. Let's see what we got. Lone Wolf here with a $10 super chat and a channel member. Talk to Boba in a 3-hour stream. He hasn't uploaded a lot due to moving from his apartment to his house. He'd be glad to do a stream with you after he moves. He respects you and said you have strong integrity. Oh, well, I appreciate that. I like Boba. People wanted to start drama between Boba and myself, and I think it got blown out of proportion. I'm not someone who won't say how I'm feeling about someone. So if I don't like somebody, I'm going to say it. I have an entire channel dedicated to talking about people that I don't like. I've always liked Boba. I think Boba's incredible. He's got good drive. He's in the algorithm. YouTube loves him. He's doing big things here on, with his channel. I think that's great. You know what I mean? I think it's great. I just have nothing negative to say about him at all. I did, like I said, when we talked about the whole getting together and doing a stream and it didn't work out or whatever. Yeah, I was upset about the way it was handled, but I didn't necessarily blame him for anything. You know what I mean? I've never felt that way about it. But yeah, that's it. No hate, no negativity. I like Boba a lot. I'll pretty much stream with anybody, even if I don't like them. I'm not saying that about Boba, but if someone wants to stream with me and I don't get along with them, I think that's kind of interesting too. To have a conversation with someone that I don't necessarily see eye to eye with. I think that's also very interesting. So it is now, where are we at? We are 23 minutes after start time. It might just be an us night. It might just be an us night because I feel like we should watch the X-Men teaser, but no one else is here. And I know Jake, for a fact, probably wants to watch the X-Men teaser with me, but he's not here. So, hold on. Let me see. No mention in the Discord that they're not going to be here. I feel like we should watch it. Sorry. Is that selfish of me? I feel like it might be. A tad bit selfish. All right, let's do this. All right, we're going to watch the teaser for X-Men. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I've seen bad rips and clips of it, but that's it. Joe Rogan meet and greet? Hell no. Critical Drinker collab all day, every day. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's do it. X-Men trailer for Doomsday in 1080p. Let's go.
Death comes for us all. That's all I know for sure. The question isn't, are you prepared to die? The question is, who will you be when you close your eyes?
Okay. All right. The X-Men will return? So my only issue with this term one, the trailer, teaser, whatever, is great. This is the best one so far. I love the Thor one. I hated the Steve Rogers one. This one is the best one. And I can't believe I'm saying this because this was not my favorite era of X-Men movies. My favorite era of X-Men movies were the ones that came out after this, the second phase of movies with the younger cast. That's the ones that I liked. I preferred those films in general. But there's something iconic about these actors connected to these characters. Does that make sense? There's something iconic about them. All of them are connected to these characters in a way that feels like they are more of, how can I put this? The characters are represented by these actors in a way that I think is more rizzed out. I don't know what the word is. It just, these actors connected these characters better, in my opinion, is what I'm looking for. And so, even though I prefer the other movies, and I think there's like Michael Fassbender as Magneto is incredible. Incredible. You know what I mean? Like, I admit that. However, these guys are the OGs. This was like the beginning. So let me talk about this. I want to just sort of wax poetic about this for a moment. When I was growing up as a kid, back in the olden days, back when we had to churn our own butter and cars didn't exist, back at that time, we were reading comic books on cave walls. I never thought that we would ever see live action superheroes like we were seeing in these movies, right? Especially the X-Men. Keep in mind, I grew up on the X-Men. They were the first series of comic books that I ever read as a kid. I saw the Superman movie back when I was young. I saw the Batman 89 movie, but I wanted the X-Men. I saw the Blade movie. Fantastic, by the way. Blade ushered in. We got to give flowers to Blade. Blade ushered in the X-Men universe. 100%. We wouldn't have the X-Men movies without Blade. Right? So you have to give Blade his flowers there. But we got these X-Men movies. And for me, when I was watching them originally, I had very little complaints because I was so excited to see them. Do you guys know how that feels? You know what I mean? Like you'll take something, whatever it is, because you're just excited for that thing. And that's how I was originally with the first X-Men movies. Keep in mind, I think the second one had some great moments in it. The first one has iconic, memorable lines and stuff, but I don't think it's a great movie. And I didn't really care for the third one too much. Again, there were moments in it that I didn't care for it too much. But I love these movies, and I look back at them nostalgically. So I think, like, yeah, for me, it feels right. So I'm happy to see them back because I never thought I would have them in the first place. You know what I mean? We get X-Men 97, and I'm like, okay, so this cartoon is exactly the level of the X-Men that I want. And then we see this. We see this. This is crazy. We're getting this Cyclops in this costume. I just... my mind is blown. But I will say the return thing. When they say return, do we think, and when I say we, I mean all of us here chatting tonight, do we think that these are the X-Men from that universe? Or is it like the X-Men that look like those X-Men? Right? Like it's like a multiversal version of the same characters. Or is it actually the same X-Men? Because if you think about it, what about Thor? What about Steve Rogers? Right? Are those guys the actual guys? Or are they alternate versions that look just like the ones we remember? Because they're using the word return. Return for me suggests that these are the OGs. That these are the ones who started the whole thing. That's how I feel about it. But I could be wrong. It absolutely could just be the same X-Men from that Fox universe. I wouldn't be mad about that. I mean, it does mess up the continuity a little bit because we saw what their future looks like, you know, in Days of Future Past. So it does mess with their continuity a little bit. Cyclops supposedly was dead. So I don't know where this would come into play with that. So I don't know. I feel like this might not be the same X-Men, but it could be. We do have a guest in the green room now that just left. I don't know who it was. I clicked off the screen where the trailer was because I heard someone come in and they disappeared. So I don't know. Whoever it was, thank you for stopping in. Even if it was only for a second. I appreciate it. Now, we did get... it wasn't Paigey. Paigey wouldn't be on right now. We did get a super chat here from Naruto, $5 super chat. Did you see the giant pair of legs moving behind Cyclops? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Sentinels attacking the X-Mansion. Pretty sure. But I could be wrong. But I'm thinking maybe it is. Maybe it is. I would love that, though. Give us some, like, who's in the back room? Hold on, let me close the window here. It's Darren. Well, I don't know if it was Darren at first, but it's Darren now.
Hello, it was me.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't hear anything that you were saying for some reason. Like, you were completely muted when I jumped in. I was like, so I exited out and came back in.
Oh, okay. Well, glad you're here. I basically just watched the X-Men teaser. Have you seen it yet?
I just watched it. I was pretty disappointed today because I knew it was coming out today.
Right.
But I was like, all right, I still hadn't done Avatar: Fire and Ash. So I went to the theater today because like I want to see this on the big screen. Right. I wanted to see it, and they showed the Steve Rogers one instead of the X-Men one, and I was so disappointed. But I came home and I watched it anyway. I'm excited.
Right. I think this is the best of the 3 teasers we've gotten so far.
Ooh.
What do you think? You think Thor's better?
I do kind of slightly like Thor, but like
I'm not going to argue against it. I think that Thor. So first of all, the Steve Rogers teaser is the worst one, easily.
Yes. Oh, easily.
But I think you could argue both of these depending on where your nostalgia is.
But I'll say like seeing him in the suit for the first time ever that's just so cool. Like, it's so cool that we were here. Like, this is my one thing I wanted from Doomsday. I was like, if we're doing this, if we're bringing him back, get him in the damn suit. Give him that beautiful, beautiful suit. And dear God, that looks incredible. I'm so happy.
The optic blast effect of this is crazy.
It's so good. We've never seen, like, full-on Cyclops in live action, huh? Like, not really.
Not the real one, no. We've gotten, like, versions of him, but never anything that feels like this. This one shot, to me, to be completely honest, and I usually don't do this because I like to get a little bit more first, but this one shot here is more Cyclops than we've ever had in any live action X-Men project. We've seen it in the cartoons. He's been in lots of cartoons and stuff, but we've never seen this version of Cyclops in live action. So
it's cool to finally see him getting his just. Because even in like the animated stuff for years, it was always Wolverine. In the movies, it was always Wolverine. And I think between X-Men 97, which treated him so well, he was so good in that show. And now in this one, seemingly getting the time to shine without Wolverine there as well. Like, it's just like, this is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, I don't know if James thought he would ever be back in this role again. You know what I mean? Like, after the second movie. I don't know if he ever thought he would come back. But
he's been wanting it. Like, he's been, like, campaigning for years. You can tell he was not very happy what happened in 3 when they did what they did to him, which is still one of my least favorite things.
Well, that's what I mean. He basically wasn't even in X3. Like, after the second movie, he was pretty much gone.
So
like,
stupid, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's such a good casting, too. Like, it's going to be hard to... again, I won't say they can't get someone better, but like look-wise, he looks like Scott. Like, he's such a good casting for the character, and they really just fumbled him. And most of that cast of most of those movies, like if you weren't like Wolverine, Xavier, Magneto, Mystique, you kind of got the short end of the stick.
Yeah. We have another person in the green room. We click down here. It is Jake, who has arrived in time to give his opinion on the X-Men teaser. Yeah, it does. It works.
My ears were burning, or my eyes were burning, you could say. Which they actually were doing a lot today because of some idiot at work. Yeah, I loved what I saw here. I don't know if you guys saw it yet. Those are definitely some giant ass Sentinel feet in the background.
Yeah, that's what I said that earlier too.
Love how we're getting that shot just ripped from honestly a few different things. Finally seeing him in that suit. Xavier wearing the iconic vest with the logo. Magneto rocking his 97 hair. And maybe I look too far into this, but Did anybody else think back to the end of X-Men: The Last Stand whenever Magneto started moving the chess piece?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. Making sure it wasn't just me. No, loved what we saw there, and I kind of knew going into this, it's like, that it was going to be my favorite of the three we've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say this: I've liked each one of these teasers progressively more.
Right.
Because with the Cap one, the Steve Rogers one, I'm like, okay, like, I don't really know what to think. It's interesting, sure. Then you get to the Thor one, I'm like, all right, this definitely looks better than what we've seen with the character in a while. It's giving me a little bit more hope. Then with this one, I was, well, okay, I guess Darren had my price. With this one, I was cheering and celebrating, which I hadn't done with these teasers yet. So,
well, the thing about James Marsden is you look back 25 years now, 26 years when they were filming this movie. We know what his level of acting was then, and he's done a lot of stuff since then. I think he's a much better actor now than he was back when he was in the X-Men. So I already know that he's going to come into this with a lot more behind the character than he did previously, because he's just got more under his belt in terms of acting.
Yeah.
Acting skills. So that the Sentinels took Darren exactly.
And granted, when he first played that role, he hadn't before. Now he has, and granted, it's been a long time, but he at least does have experience with that role, so he might be able to, like, slip back into it in a new way, maybe with a little bit more freedom to just kind of just go with it, because we know how anti-comic source material Bryan Singer was. Yeah. So he might actually be able to get a little bit of free reign.
So Naruto says, apparently the next teaser is Fantastic Four, not Doctor Doom. I actually have an article that talks about that teaser. I'm not going to play it because obviously it would get the stream in trouble, just like this one would have last week. And this one might still end up disappearing. So I don't know. We'll see.
So JYCV, I don't think that's going to be the case. And people are theorizing that. I don't think they would have gone through the trouble of putting all of those mutants in a 5-hour plus chair announcement if they were only going to be in the movie for like 5 minutes.
Also, I think it would ruin a lot of the good faith they're building right now to do that.
Because they don't want to do like what happened with, something like Crisis on Infinite Earths in the Arrowverse, where a lot of those leaked cameos came out and people thought that those appearances were going to lead to more than they inevitably did. Yeah. So it wouldn't want to be the same thing. Darren said he's having computer issues, so he'll try to join back in a few.
Okay. All right, so we're not going to watch the trailer, but let's take a look at...
Put my reaction to it out earlier this evening.
Did you get any strikes on or anything?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
So...
Not one.
We're not going to show it here, but I do want to talk about this. So we did get the 4th leaked trailer literally at the same time that we got the official X-Men trailer. These people that say that Marvel is doing this on purpose, I do feel like that at this point that it is Marvel.
But stuff for this is being taken down like that.
Which is why we're not going to watch it.
Right.
4th Avengers Doomsday trailer leaks online, revealing a meeting of 60 years in the making. Earlier today, like an hour ago, I noted that it was surprising the 4th Avengers Doomsday trailer had yet to leak online, particularly as Marvel posted the 3rd one featuring the return of the X-Men. Well, you're not going to believe this. The 4th Avengers Doomsday trailer is leaked online, literally within the hour of the other one coming out. Premiering later this week in front of Avatar Fire and Ash, we won't link the teaser here, but we will describe it. So if you want spoilers for an advertisement, look away. The 1-minute look begins with a shot of the desert, which a lot of people believe is the Void. I think it's the Void. I have to see the teaser to make my mind up about it. We'll talk about it next week when it comes out. But
I don't know. The Void. I wish they would just get a. What's the word? A destined look for it, I guess, because you compare how it looks in something like Loki to how desolate it looks in something like Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's a night and day difference.
Right. Ultimately revealing that the back of the head of a single figure, Shuri, who, if you recall from Black Panther Wakanda Forever, is the new Black Panther, which, yes, I did see a picture of her in the suit. Yeah. I mean, they're not going to change that on this film. Like, I don't know why anybody would be surprised. I've lost everything that matters to me, Shuri says as the camera holds and she begins to walk away. Then we get a shot of the Talokans, the underwater people led by Namor, who are very much above water and looking over the desert. Shuri is walking through. A king has his duty, Shuri says, to prepare our people. As she says this, we get a shot of Namor looking intensely off camera. For the afterlife, continues Shuri, I have mine. As she says in the latter, M'Baku joins her, and they're backed up by several members of the Dora Milaje. King M'Baku of Wakanda. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying right there. The figure is Ben Grimm. That's who he's talking to. Of the Fantastic Four, paying off on something Marvel fans have waited to see on screen since Black Panther was first introduced in Fantastic Four number 52 from July of 1966. Ben says the thing, Yancey Street between Broome and Grande. Then we get a shot of Shuri looking intense and doing the Wakanda Forever hand pose, followed by the inline, the Wakandas and the Fantastic Four return and Avengers Doomsday. So that's the whole thing. So
I did see that article, and I was thinking about this earlier, and I think someone even brought it up in the chat. But I thought back to you remember in Spider-Man 90s when they did their Secret War, and you had the Fantastic Four, like flying off in that little ship, basically.
Yeah.
They got stranded in a desert in that flying craft. Mm-hmm. So maybe could be referencing some bits of that. And granted, this isn't the Secret Wars movie, obviously, but they could still be tying a bit of that in some way.
Look at this. Do you see this next paragraph? So a few thoughts on this. First of all, I guess it's good they put the problematic stars in one teaser. Wright, who famously... Yeah, so Shuri... Letitia retweeted anti-vax material during COVID, and Huerta was accused of sexual assault, which I think it's bad to even bring that up because that never went anywhere.
Yeah, that was just a bunch of libel.
This is what I mean by, like, if you get accused of something and nothing ever happens, it doesn't matter. The internet still continues to talk about it. I'm not saying he did or he didn't, but the person that accused him of doing it never followed up with anything. They never followed through with anything.
You give them an inch, they take a mile.
So that's a bummer for unproblematic fave Mas Bakrin, whose biggest controversy is that he would love people to stop shouting cousin at him. Second, is this the final teaser trailer we're going to get? I'd originally speculated after Chris Evans teaser the next one would be Thor, followed by other members of the original Avengers team. I was way off on that except the Thor thing, but the cadence of Steve Rogers' Thor to X-Men to Wakandans and Fantastic Four is a little strange, with about 40 or 60 more characters in the movie. Well, why would they... They're not going to do a teaser for every character right away.
It also wouldn't be too strange, because look at that like attraction of lights that they did a few months ago. What did you have? You had Fantastic Four, you had mutants, you had Avengers, you had Wakandans. So it's not too surprising.
Yeah. I would say Jose, apparently he's having some sort of computer issues.
He just had some connection issues.
I would say that once Avatar is out of the theaters, I think they're going to change their method of teasing the movie. I don't know how, but I feel like they're going to change it because they can't keep doing these teaser trailers in front of different movies. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I wish they wouldn't do that at all, but here we are. Like you have to go see one movie to get an exclusive look. I personally don't like that method. But
were we ever locked in on 4 teasers, or was that like a speculation thing? Could we have more than that? Could there be a 5th one?
There could be there could be like teaser, and then 3-minute trailer.
Ooh.
That's kind of my theory that I've had. Who knows? But
yeah, that's a good theory though. Some people are saying Super Bowl.
We'll probably get something there. I mean, whenever an Avengers movie has been on the docket, we normally get something related to marketing at the Super Bowl.
So I want to talk about something else here. Let me see.
You got something better to talk about? No, I'm kidding.
I've got a few things, but this I thought was interesting. So there's a lot of people that defend all the VFX and stuff that was used in the Flash movie.
Oh Christ! Here we go again.
They've always said that this was stuff that was done with love and all this other stuff, and that's fine. I mean,
Oh really? Love?
Nicolas Cage says the Superman scene in the Flash isn't what he shot, meaning this is not. He wasn't in the scene.
He said this 2 years ago.
Right.
This isn't news.
Right, but I want to bring it up because I think it's interesting now in the era of AI. He goes, I'm not saying they used AI. Maybe it was CGI. Whatever it was, that's not what I did. I was supposed to do stand-in alternate dimension and witness the destruction of the movie. Now, I saw this coming back up, right? Like in terms... Oh, Darren's back. There he is.
Sorry, Darren. We should get a rejoined at a better point. Talking about this shit again.
Oh, boy.
But my question, and the reason why I'm even talking about this, is... I don't think AI was strong enough to do what they did in this movie at this point. I think it was still too early in its
Yes.
lifetime. So it was CGI or whatever. My question is, do we believe Nicolas Cage now that we've been able to like process this movie for a while? Do we think this is really what happened? Because why would he lie about this?
I mean, look at what happened to the other Superman star in that movie. They had Henry Cavill shoot a cameo in there that they paid him $275,000 for that they didn't use. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just shot a bunch of footage that they didn't use. There's a 4-hour cut of the movie that apparently exists. So
Yeah.
it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah. Lone Wolf, because I had this in the notes for a specific person that's normally here that isn't here. So I figured we would talk about it anyway. Because we do have at least one or two people that do like the Flash movie, and I thought that since this is circulating again, I wanted to see what they thought about it.
I'll make this clear. I don't dislike the movie. Almost everything related to that whole sequence,
Yeah.
except for what's pictured, I despise.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's talk Stranger Things. Has everybody finished Stranger Things
Talk
now?
about that goddamn movie. Sorry, I'm ready to be done with that.
Well, I wasn't talking about the movie specifically. I was talking more about that one scene, but yeah.
No, I know.
So I saw this today because by the way, I hope everybody in the chat has seen Stranger Things. I want to talk pretty candidly about it.
What?
Has anybody seen this tweet circling around? I like how all of these characters completely disappeared. Did anybody else see this?
I saw this.
What are your thoughts
There's so
on
much.
it, Jared?
There's so much stupid Discord around Stranger Things right now. There is
People are acting
I
like
don't
the
know.
season killed their dog.
It's so ridiculous. Like, there is such media literacy happening with the season right now. I think two of these are fine. I think at least two of these are fine. Argyle.
Which two?
For one,
Okay.
most people didn't like Argyle.
Yeah.
I'm
Drugs were
I'm
not
lagging
strong
a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if it's coming through. But yeah, like Argyle, like no one really liked him anyway. And then Susie is. I've explained this a couple of times. Like, it makes perfect sense why they're not in the season. It's very clear they broke up off screen due to everything he's dealing with, and
Oh. See, this is what it's like to be me every other day.
What is going on? All right, we'll let him finish his thought when he gets back.
No, I mean, I get it. Like long distance relationship in the '80s, it was inevitable that she wouldn't come back.
Yeah. I still think they probably should have at least done some line of dialogue.
Let me just put it this way: I was not missing any of these characters.
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't think that they were. I don't think any of these characters were particularly fan favorites. Oh, Darren's return.
I thought Susie was a fine character,
Yeah,
but like I didn't need her there. See, Darren, this is what it's like to be me every other day.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay,
I don't know what's up.
so you said last thing we heard was you said that it's clear Susie and him broke up off camera, and then you kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I think the other ones I can understand. Like, I know Yuri was a pretty popular character last season.
That's
Brenner?
the name. I kept forgetting the name.
Brenner, I understand. Brenner is like a season 2 character. He appeared in almost every season. I understand, but also I don't know. I guess a little cameo from him would have been nice, just to kind of wrap his little thing up. But I'm not really angered by any of these characters.
I also think we have to remember that between the end of season 4 and the beginning of season 5, Hawkins became a militarized state. Like, it was literally blocked out from the real world.
Yeah, it was like a no man's land.
So there wasn't any people coming in and out. That's the reality of it, too, is that a lot of these characters wouldn't be coming in and out of Hawkins.
Yeah.
So, all right. We got some super chats here, and then we're going to talk a bit more about Stranger Things. $5 super chat from Naruto says, Jake, Eric was asking earlier what the context was for Lance's Patrick Newsom comment on Party Nation. I didn't understand what that was. Somebody brought it up earlier, and I'm like, what?
Damn it. Okay, so in the spirit of what released officially today, the next multi-part tier list over on Party Nation, I made a tier list where we're ranking all of the Fox X-Men characters, both young and old versions. And Omega, we were saying we needed you there. You would have a field day with this. Okay. First, hold on. Side note, Omega, make sure you're there the next few weeks if you can, because you get to tear apart Bryan Singer's X-Men, and I know you. Anyway, we got to when we only did 5 or 6 of them. We didn't get very far. There's still plenty more to go. But we got to Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier. And as Lance was introducing him, he fucked up, and instead of saying Patrick Stewart, he said Patrick Newsom. And both me and Phil were like, what the hell are you talking about? He combined Patrick Stewart with the name of the California governor.
But how, though? I don't understand how you even do that.
I don't know how that mix-up even happened. I really have no idea. And then he tried to fix it, and then instead of saying Patrick Stewart, he said Patrick Statham. So it got even worse. And then a bunch of bad Jason Statham impressions followed that. But yeah, that was the whole context. That was why me and Phil were just giving him a hard time there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Omega, make sure you're there the next few weeks, because you were missed tonight. So were you there?
So Cameron, I'm going to hold your super chat for a moment, only because I do want to talk about Stranger Things and get that out of the way, and then we'll jump into your super chat, because I actually have that bookmarked. So
sorry, I just think it's funny that somebody wanted to know that so much that they paid money. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I mean, it's not like I'm getting any of it, but thank you for giving him the money, because guys, as Omega would say if he were here, YouTube is killing this channel.
They're killing the channel.
Sorry.
It's okay. All right, so Stranger Things. There's so much stupid discourse around this final season that I just don't totally understand. Somehow people believe that the penultimate episode killed the season, yet the finale went on to make $25 million at the movie theaters. I just don't understand any of the rationalization behind it. I have my issues with the season. I think there were problems with it, but overall, I enjoyed the final season of Stranger Things. I think it did everything it could have done to wrap up the story and make it make sense. I see people complaining that the final battle was like a kaiju mixed with Vecna or whatever. I mean, everything was always building towards something over the top. If they wouldn't have done anything like that, people would have complained that it would have been all like the last hour of the 2-hour finale. They would have complained about it. It wasn't big enough. It wasn't grand enough. I don't think you can satisfy everybody. When you have a show as big as Stranger Things that is so popular around the world, you cannot please everyone with the decisions you make in the final season. Is that a fair statement?
Well, it's not like Clue where you can give it multiple endings depending on where it releases in the world. You have to end it I mean, it's not like they gave it a definitive ending. It was very ambiguous. But on the one hand, as Darren brought up whenever we talked about it on his stream, that's what I kind of liked about it. It was a very D&D ending. So
that was that's been my pitch. I think people are just blatantly ignoring where it's how could they end this character like this? It's they didn't. They left every character very open on purpose, because you get to choose the ending. You get to choose the final journey, which in a regular show I might agree is a little lazy. But this is Stranger Things. This is their entire theming since season 1. This isn't just like, oh, we gave up halfway through. This was very intentional how they wrote the season. So it's so weird being like, I can't believe they did blank to this character. It's like, did they? Did they really? Or is that just how you're
so many people were thinking we would get like, you know, a Walking Dead definitive ending or a Breaking Bad definitive ending. It was like, I think so many people were expecting that, and because they were expecting that, they were, being frankly honest, I think they were not open to the possibility that the ending might be open.
I saw a really interesting TikTok the other day that I thought was... I didn't agree with everything they said, but I thought it was very interesting, where it's like the main premise was like, Stranger Things didn't change, you did.
Yeah.
And the entire premise was like, Stranger Things was meant to be this 80s homage. This was never supposed to be like Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead. It was always going to end very optimistic and very happy, and like anything can happen and everything can be good for once. And I think somewhere along the way we kind of forgot that. And to be fair, maybe it's because season 4 was so dark and was so gritty and had so much stakes to it.
High stakes.
But like, I think that they did kind of return to their like season 1, season 2, even season 3 roots with just like, oh, we needed to end it in a way where everything is going to be fine and everything's a little cheesy and a little silly, kind of where we were at the beginning of the show.
And I think honestly, this show did something that a lot of great shows and movies do. Whenever they're progressing their storytelling, is that because they went smaller with the stakes, that let them go deeper with the thematics. And I think a lot of great shows and movies do that at some point, and some that's how they end things off. Some it makes sense to go out with a bang, but sometimes getting more personal is more of a fitting ending. But you're going to find people who loved it. You're going to find people who hated it. So
yeah. So Short Car here says, where did the idea of killing characters equal good writing come from? I don't know where it came from, but I actually think it's a lazy emotional manipulation that people substitute for good writing, because they're like, oh, if you kill off a character, even if it's not for a good reason, you can emotionally manipulate the viewers into thinking you did something important, right? Because people value life, and they see life being sparked out or taken away. They assume that that's like a big deal. It's a big step in a fictional world. That's what I think.
I don't even mind that they didn't kill characters necessarily. Like, I don't have an issue that they didn't. My issue was that they repeatedly threw out a carrot in front of you and being like, oh, this character's setting themselves up to die. Something's going to happen where this character probably dies. And they kept on doing that. But also my biggest issue, or one of my biggest issues with not only the episode, but also really this entire season was, and I told this to Darren, I like the character moments in a vacuum on their own as individual moments, like the Nancy Jonathan scene on the table. That sounds bad out of context, but I like that scene on its own. The stuff between Robin and Will, Will's scene in episode 7. I like those scenes on their own, but I think some of them could have been placed better in the episodes / the season. But B, and I especially noticed this in the finale, where I could not tell you the amount of times, because going into the finale, I thought it's like, okay, you've had the character moments, plot really needs to kick in. I counted at least 3 times in the finale where somebody goes, hey, I really got to say this. Hey, I really got to talk to you about something. Hey, I really got to get this thing off my chest here. And they kept on doing it, and after a while, it got irritating. So
you mean on season 5?
Yeah. So I noticed it throughout the season, and it was especially prevalent in the finale.
Well, I'm not defending them, but I do want to give an alternate take on that. They had to do those things. because they had to wrap up the stories for these characters.
And
This is the final season.
I'm not saying I'm on that. I just think some of them could have been better placed throughout the season.
Absolutely, but if we're talking about tropes from the 80s was full of like bad timing for conversations and things like that. It really was that way.
Yeah.
And they're leaning into that a lot. And I would say here, even like with Lone Wolf's comment about a character dying raises the stakes. But in movies with kids or TV shows with kids in the 80s, unless it was a horror movie, like straight up horror, they didn't usually kill off the kids. It was something you didn't do. And I also want to point out, killing off any of those characters, right, as kids, immediately shifts the focus around like mourning that kid for the rest of the season. So think about this. Well, think about this. If any of the characters died, we immediately would have spent the vast majority of the final episode in some sort of mourning mode for that character. We would not have been able, and I know people don't want to hear this because it's a TV show and this is just the way it is. This is not real life, right? They would not have been able to properly wrap up everybody's story if they killed off one of the children.
Yeah.
I said day one that not a single one of those young children were going to die.
No.
Right.
Like that was never going to happen.
Yeah. I had a feeling they weren't, like, as the season went on. Like I always had, a dark theory in the back of my head that they might kill Will in 11, but I wasn't like super set in that. It was mainly just a bit. But in the finale, they make it very. They seem to be hitting it pretty home that Nancy might die.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, I didn't like how that scene was set up, and I don't know. The whole Nancy Rambo transition this season's been off-putting. I'll say that. But I don't know, just her saying, "Hey, I'll offer myself up as bait," or even the whole 11 thing that happened later. That moment would have hit harder for me if she was maybe helping them get out of the Upside Down, helping them get through, holding the gate open long enough for everybody to get through. It's almost like it just happens, but it's like I'm torn on it.
Well, my issue is because I do have problems with this season, but I think and I'm not talking about specifically anyone in particular here. I'm just saying in general, the show is a cheesy 80s show, right? Like that's what it is. It was a very good, well done cheesy 80s show, but it's always been that. Even in the highest of its highs, I feel like being upset. I'm not saying you, Jake, but I've seen it online. People being upset that Rambo was referenced with Nancy or whatever. Being upset about that is almost like just not paying attention to what the show is. Honestly, like the show, we're talking about a show where these kids have managed to fight off demigorgons and live through like demon possessions and the mall being attacked by a giant mind flayer. I think we have to really lower those standards of immersion because the show was never some high art Penguin or something like that. It's always been a cheesy action show about scary stuff.
I guess I just didn't like that they were constantly portraying the military as this looming threat when a 20-year-old who's always got a shotgun handy can take them down so easily.
Darren, what were you going to say?
I forget.
Before you get disconnected.
I forget what I was going to say.
Sorry, Darren. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Oh yeah, that's it. I just think there is no like this kind of fandom. Same with stuff like Game of Thrones and like a lot of those very big, high profile shows. The fandom is just so split on what they want that there was no pleasing anyone this season. Like I've seen, I guess like slight spoilers for this final season if you guys haven't seen it. But like on both sides of the fandom, I'm seeing people like, how dare they kill 11? These are like this show is terrible. And on the other side of it, it's like, how dare they not kill 11? This is terrible. It's like, what do you want? Like what? Like how could a show of this caliber and this amount of characters and arcs and ships have satisfied everyone? And the simple answer is there was never going to be a version of the season that people liked. And that's crazy to me because they don't end any characters. Like this feels like a finale outside of like shippers. I know some shippers are mad for various reasons, understandable for an extent. But like, this is the show that shouldn't have as many haters as it does, because all the characters are left so open. They could go literally anywhere in their future, and people are like, how dare they end this character like this? I'm like, I don't really get it personally. I don't really.
Well, okay, so I think the issue is, and people are going to hate me for saying this, but I'm just going to say it. I think a lot of people outgrew Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people started watching it at a certain age, and as they got older and the show went on, the show and them as a person split paths, and there was no way the show was ever going to give them what they wanted, because that didn't exist anymore. The feeling didn't exist anymore.
This happens with every fandom. Like, we saw, I think the biggest one is like Star Wars. I think that happens all the time, where they grew up with that like wonder and, you know, fantasy of Star Wars, and then they grew up with like, Star Wars was like never used to be like this. I was like, yes, it was.
Yeah,
I agree, Xana. Look, for better or worse, the show took too long to wrap up. For better or worse, and I will say that forever. I know that people probably disagree with me, but I do feel like, and it's not even about the actors looking older. I want to put that out there. It's not about them looking older or anything like that. It wasn't even
always their fault either, because like they had the tragedy between 2 and 3 with their shooting locations. They had like in between 2 and 4. You obviously had the pandemic in between 4 and 5. You obviously had both actors and writer strikes, so not a lot could happen there. And it was just one thing after the next.
Look, shit happens, right? That's just life, right? We lost the Arrowverse because of this. It fucked up Marvel's cadence of movies. Entertainment suffered because of this. The fact remains, though, they took too long to make the show. 5 seasons in 10 years is just not acceptable for a viewing audience.
I mean, to play devil's advocate a little bit, and again, it isn't a movie, but if you compare it to movies, it's not a terrible track record, right? Again, I know it's not a movie franchise, but when each season is building up to at least 10 plus hours of television each season, I think it is a more comparable thing. And so it's like, okay, is 5 installments in a movie franchise in 10 years?
I would disagree, though, Darren. We were getting some shows 23 episodes a year from shows.
Sure.
So I don't think, for me, that doesn't really add up.
Times were also different back then.
Not now.
But CW wasn't giving us the quality of like special effects and stars.
Okay, so higher quality, lower episode count, they should still be able to do 1 season a year.
Sure.
If we can film a movie in 3 months, why can't we do 1 season of TV a year? Why is that so hard?
I mean, sure, but we're not getting a movie every year, right?
I'm saying if a movie can film in 3 months, a high quality movie, why can't we get a 10 episode season every year?
Sure.
So I think
we can.
Yeah.
It's just but again, like Stranger Things also falls into the thing that Wednesday has fallen into recently, that
people got popular.
Popular. That's another massive thing that people aren't thinking about. That every single one of their cast is filming movies, TV shows, like commercials, shorts. They're doing their own projects. Game of Thrones, I think, also kind of fell into the same little bubble, which is my pitch going forward. I know it's not Stranger Things' fault. They didn't know that they were going to blow up, but for things like Wednesday and like Euphoria, don't cast someone who has to go film five other movies that year to star in your TV show.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Stop doing it. Like, I get things happen, like Stranger Things, again, they weren't stars when they started, except for a couple, but like...
Also, contracts are an issue, and this is another thing, is people, if you sign a contract for 1 season of a show, the show ends up being super successful, and Netflix takes 8 months to go, we want a season 2 of the show or whatever, you might have already obligated yourself to something else. You might be in another movie. You might have taken on a mini-series. You could be doing tons of things, right? So you get stuck in that bubble. So it's a lot of stuff on the business side that caused this problem. But at the end of the day, I still think people are being too hard on the show as a whole. I just think, personally. We got a couple of comments here, and then we're going to move on. Ted here says, finally catching one of your lives. Love all your debunk videos. Thank you, Ted. I appreciate that. I started that comment, and I overlooked it. But thank you for that. Lone Wolf here says, my issue wasn't the kaiju fight. I felt like it was easy and plot armor was too strong, took me out a bit. We had fake outs, but the epilogue made up for my criticism of the finale. It's so weird because some people love the first hour, hate the second. Some people hate the first hour and love the second. It's really... Darren, I mean, this speaks to what you were saying, Darren, about the community being divided. So,
which, like, I'm like right there because I think the first half is like fun, but a bit messy at times, and again, I love the back half. Like, I love the epilogue stuff. So, like, again, I think you can have your issues, you can like say your complaints, but I think so much of it comes from a place of just like not loving it. Like, I feel like so many people are coming at it with like, this show sucks and I'm so happy it sucks and I was right that it was going to suck. It's like, were you ever a fan of the show? Like, you can criticize something and have issues with something while also not, I guess, like, without being a dick about it. I guess it's like my main complaints is like, did you ever like the show in the first place? I don't know.
What were you gonna say, Jake?
Can you pull up Jack's comment?
Jack.
Jack from being stopped.
Oh wait, hold on. Where's it at?
Jake, did you play MTG?
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah, Dual.
Oh, Dull Boy Jack. All right, sorry.
Yeah. Sure
Of course, he had them sitting right there in front of him the whole time.
Gathering?
Yeah. No, they're literally in my desk. The cards were in my desk, so I just opened it and pulled them out. Sure do.
We do have another specific Stranger Things super chat from Cody here with a $10 super chat. A lot of people keep saying they should have killed Max when Max is a suicide survivor. You don't kill suicide survivors, saying she should have just walked out blind and crippled. Should have walked out blind and crippled.
People wanted her to be like, have consequences to her.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, she did. Not all consequences have to be lasting.
I would say if they were ever going to, if they wanted to do something shocking, they would have went this direction. But I think they went the direction that they felt was the most beneficial to the character. Because to be honest, Max was extremely important to the plot of the final season.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, I don't even think they would have won if Max wouldn't have been in the season.
In more ways than one, she was their oracle.
Yeah.
And definitely not because she was a paralyzed redhead.
So thank you for the super chat, Cody. I got the joke. I wasn't going to comment on it. Michael here, member for 16 months. To everyone watching live or the recording of the show, please click the like/thumbs up button. It helps the channel grow. Thank you, Michael. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being a channel member and supporting the channel. All right, so we have two other super chats that are not related to Stranger Things, so we're going to move away from that. Cameron here with a $5 super chat says, Eric Tom King says the casting is underway for Mr. Miracle in the Mr. Miracle show. Also, there will be more announcements for the show. Yeah, so I had something here that I believe was shared in Discord. Let me see if I bookmarked it. Yeah, here it is. It's a little bit of information. The animated Mr. Miracle series will replicate the art style of Mitch Gerads, the comic book artist. So here we go. Some of the art from the comic. So you can kind of see. I believe this was the teaser for the show. So see that? Then you see the comic art here. So it's going to be very much like this. I'm looking forward to this. I actually enjoyed the character from the comic. So pretty happy about them bringing this story to TV. Now, this has not been confirmed whether it's not part of the DCU, right?
Yep. What's so interesting about that is they're being so vague about it. They have said that they are going to announce more details about where it's set in at a future event or something. And I'm like, if it that kind of makes me think it may be canon to the DCU, because if it wasn't, why be so secretive? Like, just say it's not, right?
Right.
So the fact that they're being like, I don't know, wait and see, that makes me be like, oh, it is canon then, right?
They're doing it with that and with Dynamic Duo.
Yeah, it's weird. Which, Dynamic Duo, you would think would be such an automatic, no, right? It's so, Elseworldy, it feels like. I don't know. So that's...
With this being, Mr. Miracle, With this being a gods and monsters chapter, you'd think it would fit right in.
Oh, we did have another super chat here. Sorry, this one got mixed up about Stranger Things from Naruto. $5 super chat. Thank you, Naruto. We are now 8 out of 10 in the Reloaded channel. So 2 more, and I will do a poll for tonight. $5 super chat says, Eric, just curious, do you believe Ross Duffer when he said nothing was cut from the season? No. Because I think the word cut can be used in many different ways. Do I think there's a lot of stuff laying on the editing floor? Probably not. Probably not a ton. Do I believe there were storylines and things they wanted to include that they didn't? Yes.
There might have been also a lot of stuff drawn up on storyboards that never made it to film.
Right. So when they say cut, they might mean cut in the sense that there was nothing in the editing room that they didn't use. But I don't know if that means they got every single thing they wanted into the season.
Yeah.
So.
And that could have been the case for one reason or another. You never really know.
Right. So it's not really a quote unquote lie. It's more of like a playing with the words a little bit. Yaya says some of the main reasons are slow writing, slower production, more shows, and extravagant cinematic bullshit. Like everything doesn't need to be a goddamn movie. 13, 18 episodes a year is reasonable. I would love to go back to an era of give me less flashy, but give me more episodes where I get to know more about these characters over time. I would love that.
I feel like we are like about to head back into a TV renaissance because 2026 we have the return of yearly TV.
Right.
Like there's been some that have been doing this, like Only Murders has done that. The Pit is doing that right now, but you have things like Invincible, Daredevil, Born Again, X-Men 97, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. These are all shows that they have said they are trying to put out a new season every single year, starting
and probably seasonally. Like we'll see them certain times of the year, probably.
Like that's exciting. I'm so excited for that. Like I think Daredevil is so impressive because Daredevil came out last March. It's coming out this March. When was the last time that's happened in like the streaming superhero world?
I also want to point out that one of the things, and this is a spoiler for my essay video that I'm putting out in like 2 weeks or so. One of the things that fucked Marvel up, and I mentioned it when we were talking earlier about COVID, is cadence. Like they lost the cadence of release schedules for their movies, and I think people just kind of wandered away from it because they had pretty much trained everybody. We're going to make X amount of movies every year, and they did that consistently every single year. And then all of a sudden COVID came around and movies were delayed for 2 years.
Yeah.
I think that actually hurt them.
And also like some of those shows did such a good job at like creating these very tight-knit fandoms with their yearly TV. Like if you go into like, let's just say like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the one I always go back to. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. maybe didn't always have the biggest rating.
Bless you, Jake.
Thank you. Sorry.
Gesundheit, all that stuff.
But they had such a loyal fandom. The people that watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and this also goes to like the Arrowverse stuff as well, but like the people that watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. watched it every single week, every single year, as long as it ran. Like they were loyal. I don't think Marvel has like loyal fandoms anymore. It's like, yeah, we'll show up for the occasional Thors or whatever. I think we actually saw a little bit of that with like the WandaVision.
Maybe Spider-Man is one that's still kind of loyal, but
that's an anomaly though.
Yeah.
Like most of it is like the casual audience coming back and be like, oh, yeah, I like Thor. I'll show back up. Yeah. There isn't like, oh my God, I can't wait for the next installment of blank that, and they're always talking about it and always, discussing it. And I hope Daredevil is the first installment of like, and, some of these others as well, of just like, oh my gosh, every March we get to talk about a new season of Daredevil. How fun is that? And so.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I say that Spider-Man is an anomaly is because let's just face the simple truth of it. More people know the term Spider-Man than they know the term Marvel. So,
well, I'd also argue that maybe X-Men falls into that bubble too. I think X-Men fans are kind of loyal as well.
Speaking of renaissances, we've definitely been getting that the last few years. Because let's be honest, the 2010s was kind of a depressing time for X-Men fans.
And like I think 97 is also in such a unique spot because they have like 30 years worth of like. Yeah. Built-in fandom, so that also helps it. Plus, a new audience has jumped on.
People using that as a jumping-off point too. You got Deadpool and Wolverine a year and a half ago. You got the Wolverine game coming out this year. You got obviously season 2 of that. You got the X-Men showing up in an Avengers movie. So there's definitely a renaissance for those characters that I feel like they've been needing for a while.
Let's see. Close that window. Close that one. Close that one.
That was a violent sneeze.
Close that one.
Darren, this is what happens when I hang around you too much.
We got some super chats here. Oh, we actually hit the goal in the reloaded chat, so thank you guys so much. I'll be creating the poll in about 10 minutes. If anybody wants to add any options in the private chat, go ahead for the poll tonight. Since we don't have a third guest tonight, we're not going to do any games because I like to have 4 people.
I asked Ronan if he was coming. I didn't hear anything. He might be asleep.
Oh, so let me tell you what happened yesterday.
Oh,
the reason why we didn't stream last night, which actually worked out because I got the trailer for X-Men today and we could watch it tonight, so that was good. We had stuff going on yesterday. We weren't going to be home, and so we had someone come over to help clean a little bit because we hadn't really cleaned up much since Christmas. And the last thing they did was they filled the dishwasher with dishes. They put the stuff in the dishwasher and they left. But guess what they put in the dishwasher?
Oh no. What?
Regular dishwashing detergent, not the actual like stuff that you put in for dishwashers. So when we came home, the entire kitchen looked like it had been snowing in there.
Jeez.
So it was just nothing but like water and crap everywhere. So we didn't get home until like 8 and we had to clean all that up. I was like, there's no way we're going to be able to do this and still do the stream. Cause the thing was we got a message from the person who did it. They were like, oh yeah, I walked in the other room and right before I walked out the door, I noticed this was happening and I tried to stop it. And I was like, yeah, okay. So we had to clean all that mess up. So that's why that happened last night. Anyway.
Yeah, so me and Darren each threw one in there.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. 49 super chat from Staggervore. So our DC is planning to cast Wonder Woman, but do you think she'll have a solo film or be introduced in a team-up movie? I did see that, who was it that was trying, was it, oh, wait, hold on, let me think. I saw a post yesterday where they said someone was pitching a person to be Wonder Woman. Oh my God. Oh God, I'm blanking on this. I literally saw it yesterday on Twitter. Someone in the chat knows who I'm talking about.
Was it a post where the person was directly comparing the individual against Gal? Or?
No, it was some post where they said this person should be. Oh gosh,
I'm sorry.
Was it Simu Liu? I think it might have been Simu Liu. Who?
Is that how you say his name?
I think so. Right, it's Simu Liu, right?
I don't know. Like I know it's Simu. I just don't know how you say his last name.
I've always said Liu, but I could be wrong.
Darren, you're muted.
So, like, what? He was pitching someone as Wonder Woman, or
somebody posted something where he was on some social media account with an actress. I don't remember her name. It was Melissa Barrera. Is that who it was?
Oh,
trying to like pitch her as Wonder Woman or something.
I was about to say, Eric,
her for a while.
Eric, are you fan casting Simu Liu as Wonder Woman?
No. Omega is here.
Oh.
Omega, hey, we got a 4th person. All right, sweet.
So, well, it depends if he's going to stay because that's.
Yeah, I'm staying. I'm just.
All right, so
I'm so sad that you missed earlier, but don't worry.
I was knocked the F out. I ain't wake up till like 8. I ain't wake up till like 7.
Hey, we're gonna be doing that shit for like 3 more weeks, so you got time.
Okay, cool.
All right, so let's do. I'm looking at our list. Everybody, we're gonna need 3 of these, so 3 locked in.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, just cracked my neck.
All right, we can either do worst endings to films or best franchises of all time.
For tonight?
I think we already did franchises.
Did we do that one?
feel like we did franchises, yeah.
Okay, let me take it off the list then. All right, so worst endings in films or are what we think are the biggest mistakes in the MCU?
Biggest mistakes.
Yeah.
I think that one's more interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So Darren actually told me that on the New Year's one that an X-Men film ranking was selected.
Yes, and we're gonna do that, but I have to pull up a tier list, the tier maker list to do it. All right, so what you think are the 3 biggest mistakes in the MCU, and that includes all their TV shows and anything connected to the MCU. So,
could I offer a alternative for that whole ranking thing?
Which one?
That whole X-Men ranking deal. What if everybody just made their own letterbox list and we compared them?
Well, we could do that too. That works. Okay, so back to the super chat though. Wonder Woman solo film or team movie first? I want solo film first because she was introduced in a team up movie in the DCEU.
She was also introduced in a team up show in the DCAU, so it's not like it hasn't been done before.
I would like for her to have her own movie or some sort of movie where she is part of the lead cast, not a supporting character.
Yeah, I mean, if they introduce her in a Trinity movie or something, that's fine.
I like the idea of her showing up in this movie. I've been kind of pitching it for a while. But you know what people are going to say. It just being Zack Snyder's the blueprint. James is copying Zack Snyder. They're going to do it. And it's going to be so annoying.
Fuck them.
Even though their Superman movies are as different as night and day.
They are working on a Wonder Woman movie. We've known this for almost a year now. I feel like this is not new information. So they're at least working on something. Even if casting who knows maybe this casting is for her movie. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I would like to get some news on that soon. That'd be nice.
All right, let's see. We got another super chat here. Oh, what Staggervore with a 99-cent super chat, just donating for the show. Thank you so much. Lone Wolf says, "Can I get a stream? Wait, $5 super chat. Can I get a stream link? Twitter deleted it for me. Love to chat with y'all. I will give one out soon, but I'm getting ready to change the studio to the next season of the Nerdcast. So once I do that, I'll send it over to you because right now this will probably be this particular link won't be. It'll expire soon.
These seasons are just getting shorter and shorter. This really is CW.
Well, we'll see. All right, so we got a couple here. Let me go ahead and build the poll. By the way, Omega, what's up with you? Tell us what's going on. Any of your thoughts on stuff we discussed since you were sitting in the audience?
Yeah, I was just but one thing with the Stranger Things, I haven't seen this season yet, but I have kind of just been following along with it. One thing I kind of thought that was funny was that how people were complaining that I said in the chat that Nancy turns from innocent teenage girl, goody two shoes teenage girl, is a freaking Sarah Connor. Mm-hmm. She was just gunning down trained military personnel.
But that's been happening since season 1.
Yeah,
Nancy
really.
was shooting people down, and she was shooting those cans all the way. What was episode 3?
Yeah,
things.
It's they hinted towards that. Back then, so it's
it's consistent with her character. Yeah, I just don't know why they pretend the military is a threat when she just puts them down like flies.
Yeah, there's also I saw someone make a tweet about this, but there is a very weird morality thing with the show. They never make it clear if it's okay we're killing people. Hopper's constantly killing people.
That is true. That's a good point. I never thought about that. Yeah,
mm-hmm. It's so weird of them being like friends don't lie, but then they're snapping people's necks. It's oh my god, all right. Which is okay, I guess. You can justify it with their evil military.
They never said friends don't murder.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and have to subscribe to Netflix for a month and then watch it and see what the hell is going on. I'm only getting bits and pieces here and there. But about the X-Men trailer, I saw that earlier today. After my D&D game was done, I was oh my god, finally! Please give us actual X-Men instead of this
Matrix
bullshit that we had. Oh man, finally. Yeah, and I didn't know that in Party Nation. I'm so pissed I missed that. I would have tore them apart.
Hey, I will tell you this. I don't even know if this is one you hate, but me and Phil, we spent 10 minutes tearing apart Nicholas Holt's Beast. So I don't even know if that's one you like or not.
The only Beast I actually liked was Kelsey Grammer. Because at first I was like, why is Frazier Beast? What the hell? Until I saw the makeup. I was like, okay, that is Hank McCoy. Let's go.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't fuck this up.
We said that Nicholas Holt's Beast looked like, what was it? Grown-up Curious George fell in a can of blue paint.
Jesus.
It was bad, but like we got through like a lot of minor characters, so we didn't get a lot of heavy hitters yet. Like we got like original Colossus, we put it down like near the bottom. Like Lady Deathstrike, original Sabretooth.
I had something to say about all of them.
Yeah, the only one that was even like remotely high was Patrick Stewart. Like we threw that one up there, obviously, and then we got like
he was actually one of the few that were actually good.
And we got like Yukio from the Wolverine, who thought was fine enough, but it was like okay, really bad, and then Patrick Stewart. That was it for the first round, pretty much.
So, all right. So this is the list right now that you guys can choose from since we have the goal. Top 3 most anticipated shows or movies from 2026, like your own personal most anticipated list. Top 3 best plot twist in media. Top 3 hottest couples in movies and TV shows.
Okay.
Or top 3 movies that need to be deleted. So those are the options.
Ooh. By the way,
something to say about that.
Just sorry, just a little bit of a plug. Just acquired this new costume in Future Fight. All new, all different X-23 Wolverine.
Hashtag help. So promo.
Hashtag hell? What, Darren?
I was like, wait, what word am I saying again? I completely lost it.
All right. So we're going to talk about this news here. Which is Dave Filoni and Llewellyn Brennan will reportedly replace Kathleen Kennedy as the new co-presidents of Lucasfilm. Dave Filoni will oversee creative development. Llewellyn Brennan will oversee executive duties. I don't know. I've seen that name, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Announcement is expected to be made in a couple of weeks via Puck News. So I've seen a lot of people talking about this, and I'm so tired of following Kathleen Kennedy stories.
Yeah.
I'm just so tired of it.
It's one of the good things about this is we can finally give it up. Like, we can move on with this same, like, recycled, she's getting fired. It's like, you can shut up now.
It's the WB buyout shit all over.
Yeah.
It's that same thing.
Is this, like, officially official? Like,
okay, so
like,
this...
set in
so
stone?
Puck News, I did some digging before we talked about this because I wanted to make sure that this was at least somewhat legitimate.
Wait, you mean you research your topics?
Always. So Puck News, according to Fact Check, is mostly right. But and they're not flagged as a spam / misinformation outlet. So that's good. I want to remind people, though, that Puck News also posted this earlier this year, which lays this out. This is back from February or earlier last year, February 2025. Says, after a mixed 13-year run, movie producer Kathleen Kennedy has informed Disney that she will exit as Lucasfilm's president by the end of the year. Now, keep in mind, this was when that story started blowing up, and then she had to make a comment about it saying, no, I'm not going anywhere. Do you guys remember this?
Mm-hmm.
She came out and basically said that she's not going anywhere. She's still going to be around working with Star Wars, even if she's not the head of Lucasfilm. Essentially saying that she's going to be connected to it no matter what her role is. So this is what they posted. They got called out on it. And this is the only thing they've ever posted about Kathleen Kennedy that I could find on their social media until this post here, which is the most recent one from Puck News or whatever. Couple things. One, if she is leaving, if she's like leaving as president, she's definitely not going anywhere. Because that's what she said in her official statement back in February / March. However, I don't think this is good for the channels that have built their entire reputation on hating Star Wars. Because all of that is built on the back of Kathleen Kennedy not being right for the job. And they've always said they like Dave Filoni and they want Dave Filoni to take over. They think he's the right person for the job. However, I can almost promise you guys, if Dave Filoni ends up being the creative person, right? Which they did this with the James Gunn / Peter Safran thing. You have somebody doing the business side, somebody doing the creative side. If Dave Filoni takes over as a creative person, they will find a reason to complain about Dave Filoni.
Yep.
Is that, do you guys agree with that? Disagree with that?
There's a whole subsection of the Star Wars fandom that hates Dave Filoni, that despises everything he does. And again, I'm not really in the fandom, so I can't really speak on if it's accurate or not or whatever. But I think this would be an interesting time to change directors, at least for, not necessarily for Lucasfilm, but for Star Wars in particular. Just because we're in such a transitional time right now for Star Wars. Like, we are this year, we are finally getting Star Wars back on the big screen. We have a bunch of movies filming, a lot of, like, they're clearly changing directions of where we're going. It feels like a weird time to be like, all right, new change in, leadership. Like, I would wait to get your feet wet again before changing directions completely. I don't know. Like, I would wait to see how Mandalorian and Grogu does first before switching gears. Because, like, we saw this with, like, Bob Chapek, right? Because, like, like Bob joined in right as they were launching the Multiverse Saga. And, like, a lot of other stuff as well. And, like, we were seeing, like, how bad that worked out for them. And how they had too much free reign. And there wasn't enough established things happening that they kind of fell apart really quickly. But, I know Dave Filoni's been doing a lot behind the scenes for a long time now. So it's, like, it's definitely not a bad choice. It's, it's a trustworthy choice for at least some of the fandom. So...
So I want to say, because Omega, you are a huge you're probably the biggest Star Wars fan that comes on the panel typically. What do you think about if they were to make this change? I mean, because, like, to be fair, for me, I do know that when it comes to the Star Wars fandom online that I have experience with, you have a group that loves Star Wars, like all of it, but still they want to be critical, but they're afraid they're going to get wrapped up into all the hate groups or whatever. And then you have another group that just hates everything across the board. There's nothing they like. There's almost no area of Star Wars where people are actually talking about what they like and dislike without it being some massive, like, hate campaign. So what do you think about all this?
I think a lot of those channels, it seems like they kind of got what they wanted. Now what are they going to complain about?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, now that Kathleen Kennedy's out the way, so it's kind of like, okay, she's out, so what else are you going to complain about now? Because you can't praise Dave Filoni, because there's a... Think about this, Omega. Just let me paint a picture for you, right? So Dave Filoni comes in, say, for example, this is real, and he comes in, and the next thing he makes is a project that has a woman as the lead character. That's it. It's game over for him. Or if he has a project where they, like, continue the story from The Acolyte, it's game over for him, right? Would you agree with that? I feel like that's a given for me. I can't imagine there's a world where he has a woman in the lead of a Star Wars movie and the fans are like, yeah, he was the right choice.
They had 2 woman-led projects there, and they both made over $1 billion.
Yeah, it kind of depends.
No, I'm not talking about the casual general public that goes out and supports them. I'm talking about the rhetoric on the internet. Like, I'm not saying that they'll fail, right? Because we all know the last 3 big Star Wars movies that we got made over $4.4 billion, but people still complain about them. So it's not about the money.
Yeah, together, yeah.
I'll be so curious.
I don't know. I don't think that's a... Sorry, go ahead.
Sure.
I was just going to say, like, I'm so curious. Am I glitching out again?
Kind of.
I can hear you okay.
Okay. Like, I'm so curious because our next project is, like, the Mandalorian and Grogu, which is kind of what seemingly is kind of like what they're wanting is like, oh, all these male-led project and these characters we actually want to see. So if that doesn't do well, what's their narrative then? The one after that is the Ryan Gosling one. Same thing, straight white man. Like, what's their narrative going to be then? And then we have obviously the Rey project we're getting and stuff like that too. But it's going to be interesting to see how the fandom reacts over these next couple of years.
Yeah.
Just saying, no one's complained about the games yet.
Omega, what were you going to say?
I don't think I don't think they're necessarily going to just immediately complain just because something is woman led. Of course, you're going to get the misogynists who are going to complain. Any woman that's on the screen data, yeah, of course you're going to get those a-holes. But I think for the most part, they're going to kind of have to wait and see. Because I think, well, for me, I don't like Rey for a multitude of reasons. Not because she's a woman. It's because, well, for one, it's kind of like
there's issues there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues. How she was just thrust in. Besides, I think it was better that she was no one instead of a Palpatine clone.
But you know what, Omega? The simple fact that you had to clarify why you're complaining about her tells me the discourse is already a problem. Yeah. Right? Because you should be able to say, I don't like Rey because of this reason. But anytime someone says it, they have to preface it with,
like, no, I love Leia, I love Ahsoka, I love Bo-Katan, I love all of those characters.
Yeah.
I don't like this character because it's not written well.
It's actually I kind of liked Rey until that.
Yeah.
I would push back on the, like, people wait and see. And, like, I think I used to have that optimism that people were like that until the Acolyte. The Acolyte proved everything wrong for me. The Acolyte showed me the worst parts of that fandom. Because, like, 3 years before we hadn't had a trailer, we hadn't had really any information. People knew it was a black female lead. That's all we knew. And it got shit on so much before we knew anything. I was like, what could you possibly be complaining
to put
about
it in perspective, the Rey movie is already getting shit on.
Yeah.
Already, before we've even seen any of it at all.
They complained about a black female lead with the Acolyte, but, you know, an orange-skinned female lead that they spent how many years loving in cartoons, they were just fine with.
Shout out to Chariot here. She says Rey's writing was inconsistent. Somebody should make a video about that. And then it says that people here attacking the Acolyte's writing before it even dropped is an eye-opener. Also, I do want to point out a couple of comments here from Chariot I'd like to highlight. I've seen lots of rumblings on people turning on Filoni and the fandom already. Makes sense to me. Already. And then also Mando and Grogu flopping seems unlikely, but you have to remember Pedro Pascal is the leading grifters. Hate his guts for being pro-trans. Yeah. Yep. I mean, all of that's got to take into consideration. The issue is that I would love to sit down and have a real conversation about things I like and dislike about Star Wars. But I have this anti-dogpile mentality when it comes to people who are victims of harassment. Because, say, for example, you know this person who does some shitty stuff once in a while, but they're being attacked for a bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with that. And it's just happening over and over and over again. If I start going hard on that for something that I don't like about them, I'm just adding to the hate they're already getting for stuff they didn't do. So it's hard for me to even criticize stuff that's already being treated like shit for no reason whatsoever other than just exist. You're a woman in movies and all of a sudden you got a bunch of people hating you. You're a black person, you're a gay person, like immediately they're going after you. It's just such a difficult thing because they're not even waiting for the things to come out. Look, I'm a person where if you hate something after you've watched it or you've gone to see it, I can't really say much about that because you actually put in the effort to go watch it or to engage in it and you just didn't like it. And that's fine. But if you're one of those people that proactively hates something before you've ever seen any of it, then I can't defend that. That at that point, you've already tainted it. You're the person that shit in the pool. You know what I mean? Like you did that. So now everybody that gets in the water, they got to see your shit floating around. Like that's what you did. So for me, that's what it feels like when somebody proactively hates something.
At the end of the day, you're just hurting yourself.
It's true. You got to swim in that shit too. Let's see here. Lone Wolf, the $5 super chat. Since we got a full crew, can we discuss those rumored Doomsday fights I sent you on Discord? Love to break down each one if the rumors are true. I'll look at it. I got a couple other topics I want to get through, but we'll definitely look at that. I don't know. The reality is there's an entire Reddit called Rumors and Leaks and Rumors or whatever. And they always have Star Wars and Marvel stuff in there. I look at that and I'm like, this sounds really cool. But then I'm like, it's probably fake. It's probably not real. But I will, Lone Wolf, if we have time, we will talk about that because I have 3 other topics I really want to get through in the video tonight, but we'll definitely do
It's a
that.
list too.
Yeah. We're coming up on the hour, and I want to start the thing by the 2-hour mark so we can be done at 2.5. Cameron with the $5 super chat. Eric, did you see Sebastian Stan potentially cast as and Barry Keoghan possibly coming back as the Joker in the Batman Part 2? I do. That's one of the other topics I actually have here. Let me go ahead and pull this over
Leave
here.
the Joker alone, for God's sakes.
So Sebastian Stan to join Robert Pattinson in the Batman 2, and this is not one of those like iffy places. This is actually Variety
Collecting
posting
those
this.
Marvel stars like Infinity Stones.
Yeah. So we got Scarlett Johansson and now Sebastian Stan, and Barry Keoghan, who's coming back possibly as the Joker. I didn't think they wanted to do the Joker in Batman 2.
Watch it
Was
just
Right?
this scene, like cut from the movie? Like,
Watch it
isn't it
just
like
be-
a deleted scene?
watch it just be one scene again.
I don't really. I don't know. I guess it is not. We know nothing about this movie. Like I want to be like, how dare they bring the Joker back? I don't want him back, but also I'm like, okay, let's see what they do with him. I hope he's not the villain. That's my only thing.
We already got
make him the villain.
and we already got 2 bad movies with the Joker. Can we give him a break for a while, please?
Yeah, especially like a different take on the Joker. Like, if we're doing Joker again, I want like Mark Hamill inspired Joker, because I feel like it's been a very long time since we've had like Joker in live action. Like, I've been craving a bit of that, and I feel like every version is like, hey, it's our special spin on the Joker. It's like, no, I just want the Joker. Stop making him like a.
Me and Omega just got big goofy grins on our faces when you said that.
Nah, I would love to see Hamill as a Joker again, but ever since
I don't mean him directly. I just mean like that style of Joker. Is
yeah,
kind of
okay, yeah. I'm about to say ever since Conroy passed, it's like he's
I'm not expecting him.
Yeah. And that's how it should be, honestly. Like, and I'm not saying, like, I'm not encouraging people not to work, but that was fully his call to make, and I respect him for it.
Have him come back as Trickster instead.
He's basically live action Joker when he played Trickster. Let's be real.
Lone Wolf, I don't see anything from you with these battles in them. I was going to go ahead and pull it up, but if you want to go ahead and send it, that would be cool. Or where you're tell me where you sent it, because I don't see it.
And actually, he debuted as Trickster before Joker.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
90s Flash.
This is like the fan concept for him is he's going to be Harvey Dent,
not mine.
Two-Face.
You know who he looks a lot like? He looks a lot like Misha Collins as Two-Face from Gotham Knights.
I got kind of an out there idea.
What is it?
Say they do Court of Owls. What if he just plays a Talon?
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I don't hate that.
And a lot of people are saying Hush. I just don't see it.
I could see it. I think Two-Face is better though. Like when that popped up on my phone, I was like, oh, Two-Face. Like it just kind of clicked to me. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I will be curious though if it is, because that's interesting, because it's definitely not the main villain, right? If Harvey Dent is in here, I don't think it would be as Two-Face. I think it would just be Harvey Dent. It's just like regular district attorney Harvey Dent, at least for now.
Did Misha Collins even become Two-Face?
At the end, yes, he did. Yeah.
Okay, so he is the first live-action Harvey Dent to become Two-Face in a project since Aaron Eckhart.
Okay.
Yeah, because the one in Gotham didn't, and I don't remember if
This is something that keeps sticking out to me though. Yeah, a villain we've never had before. So
again, I don't think he'd be the villain. I think he would. Again, like I don't think he would become Two-Face, at least now. Like maybe he could down the line if they want to go that direction. But I think again he would be District Attorney Harvey Dent, friend of Bruce Wayne.
My whole thing for the main villain is, I'm sitting here thinking if ScarJo's in this movie, she could very well be Andrea Beaumont.
Oh, that's true.
It's my favorite.
Lone Wolf for the $2 super chat. Rumors running around Stan's going to be Harvey Dent. Yeah, sorry, I saw this after we pulled the picture up, but thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it.
I like it. It makes sense.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got here. Like I said, I got a couple things bookmarked.
It's like Sebastian Sands ever played a comic character with two personalities. Wait.
Jake, I'm going to send you the photo of Misha as Two-Face.
Oh, no.
All right, here's the other thing. So Variety gave their box office predictions for 2026, things that they think are going to be good, kind of like in the middle, and stuff they're not sure about, right? So here's what we got, and I want everybody's opinion on this. So they're saying, there's 3 sure things for them, right? Which is the Odyssey, Toy Story 5, Spider-Man Brand New Day. These are sure things for them. Anybody disagree with this?
Odyssey, I'm less sure about. I would switch Odyssey and Avengers on this first one.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's weird. I want to talk about that when we get to the safe bets, though. I have a few thoughts about that. But
why did they Savitar Pizza Face him?
What?
Oh, he looks great, Jake. What are you talking about?
Who are we talking about?
He showed me Misha Collins as Two-Face.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I noticed they just left Supergirl out of this altogether.
Yeah.
The safe. Go ahead, Darren.
Yeah, I am a little. I think just where Odyssey is placed does concern me a little bit. Like, obviously, Christopher Nolan has such a pull in the industry that it will make money. I don't know if I'm betting it at like the top of the year though. Like, I don't think it's going to be the like $1 billion hits that like Toy Story 5, Spider-Man, Avengers are at right now. But Odyssey is going to make money. It's going to do well. Again, I would swap Avengers and Odyssey personally.
Yeah.
Omega, any thoughts on this?
Oh, sorry.
All right, there.
Well, it's just for me, the only movies I'm even interested in are the Odyssey because I'm a Greco-Roman mythology nerd. The Mandalorian and Grogu because I'm a sci-fi nerd, and the Avengers because I'm a comic nerd. Those are the only movie. Well, also Disclosure Day, I'm sort of kind of interested in. I don't think it's going to be any good. Maybe because I'm a conspiracy theorist nerd too.
Well, I will say
everything.
This right here being in safe bets is weird to me.
Yeah.
It's weird. And let me tell you why. Do I think it's going to make like $3 billion? No. But I don't think there's any reality where Avengers Doomsday makes less than $1 billion.
Right. But I said this before, even if it makes $1 billion, it can still lose money.
Yes, but I'm not sure when they say like box office predictions 2026. I would think that safe bets doesn't mean like barely making even. Safe bets means like they think it's probably going to make some of its money back, I would guess.
There's also
right,
just
that's
so
a safe
many
bet.
There's so much missing here that I think should be talked about. Like, we have Mario coming out this year, we have Michael coming out this year, we have Minions coming out this year. Like, we have some big hitters that I would probably put before Spider-Man and the Odyssey. I think Toy Story 5 is a safe bet. It has the track record.
I actually think this is a safe bet as well. I think it's going to make more than it needs to. That like sure things is like these are going to make they're going to make great money no matter what. Safe bets means more than likely it's going to make its money back, right? It's going to do well in the box office. By the way, Verity is based on a book. It's got Dakota. I think it's isn't it?
Okay.
Is it?
I'm about to say I've never heard of that movie.
There's one very big one that they left off here that I think will be the biggest of the whole year.
Oh, Dakota Johnson and Anne Hathaway and Josh Hartnett.
I was about to say, are you gonna say Moana?
Moana, I think, is the safest bet of the year. I think
Clayface being in the question mark is crazy. Go ahead, sorry, Darren.
No, it's just like I think live action Moana is an easy $1 billion. It's an easy if Lilo and Stitch was able to cross that in what they did this year, I think Moana has an even stronger built-in fan base. And if the animated movie could do it 2 years ago, live action's got it in the bag. I'd say it's probably going to be the number one of the year. It did.
Okay.
Yes, a quiet billion. Yeah.
Quiet billion.
Speaking of that,
we just got there.
Here we go. This is our box office of 2025.
Oh.
It's officially over. Now we know what movies did what. Niza 2 is comfortable at number 1.
Yeah. You're so close too. They're so close.
I've only seen half of the movies on here, and I only liked one of them.
Well, I just want to point out it's weird to me in the top 5 here, Disney is 3 of them.
Yeah.
So this concept that Disney is failing as a company is so weird to me, right?
Well,
so
money talks.
And then we have Minecraft, which is crazy to me. That's in the top 5, to be honest. Jurassic World, as much as people hate it, number 6. What is it? Is that Demon? What is that called? It's Demon Slayer, right? It's an anime.
Oh, Demon Slayer.
Great win for like the animation community. Like, it didn't have much marketing, but it fucking like.
Let me just. I want to put this out there. They fucked up when they made K-pop Demon Hunters not a film release, because that movie would have done $1 billion at the box office.
And they are underestimating. I hate to go back to this. I'm so sorry, but I think they're underestimating what Avatar could have done for them at the box office. Like, Avatar is such a worldwide phenomenon. If you just put that in theaters and just left it there for a couple months, I think it would have done wonders. I think it would have really shocked people.
Yeah. Then we got How to Train Your Dragon, Darren's favorite movie of 2025.
Made more than every animated How to Train Your Dragon movie.
Did it really?
It did.
Well, yes, and the funny thing is, Darren, we would have argued back in the day that animated movies always make less than live action, but look what's at the top of the list of 2025.
Yeah, that's starting to change quite a bit.
The shift is happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then, surprise, surprise, Superman, the flop movie last year, made it at number 10. So you would have to say, if you're arguing this, you would say that What happened, Omega?
What happened was he cut out.
Yeah, you cut out. What did you say?
Oh, I hit the render button. Hold on. It's number 10, but it made the list.
Right, but what I'm saying is, yes, you're absolutely right, is that they would have to argue that everything past number 10 was a box office flop. Because they consider Superman a box office flop. Mm-hmm. So it's just, that's their argument when it comes to money.
Because not all these movies have the same budget.
No, but I'm saying, like, this movie in particular made more than its budget.
No, but what I'm saying is that the logic of them saying every movie under this was.
I am pointing out the absurdity of that community. I understand what you're saying, and we understand that, but I'm talking about how they view things.
Oh, they're stupid.
But that was my point. That was the point I was making. The joke was lost. You killed my joke. All right. Anyway, it was a bad joke. All right. So,
are you upset or not?
Who?
You like
who?
Like, you're laughing that I killed the joke, but then you're saying I killed the joke.
I'm never upset about stuff like that. Before we move into our list, though, I do want to say that J.K. Rowling's new book failed to reach the 2025 bestsellers list. So I just want to put that out there for everybody.
Yeah, that's what happens when you alienate people like that. I thought this was pretty funny. This render right quick. This test render right quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. This is what happens when you alienate people. You had a $1 billion universe that people love, but you excluded a bunch of people by saying some bullshit, and now they don't want to buy your shit anymore. Now you got a bunch of assholes who probably was never interested in your universe at all. They don't read fantasy stuff like this. The only thing those assholes read is the Bible. And, well, that is fantasy, but anyway, let me stop right there.
Can I just say I love the picture? I love the picture they used of her. The picture they used for her here.
It's interesting whenever, her whole world that she created is about accepting other people.
Right. And then she spends her entire existence online pissing people off on purpose.
It's the same with what's the lady who played Cara Dune?
Gina Carano.
Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Because I really like Cara Dune character. I just kept saying every time I rewatched The Mandalorian, I was like, if you would have just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I like
she could have still been in this show.
She did. Look, I'm going to continue to be right about this. I love it when I'm right about stuff. She vanished after the lawsuit. She just completely vanished, right? And I said that back when the lawsuit was settled. I was like, we're never going to hear from her again. Nope. She is gone. She got paid a bunch of big ass hush money from Disney, and she fucking left. She's like, I'm out.
All she had to do was
it's cool to have your opinions and all that stuff, but come the fuck on.
All she had to do was like, oh, sorry guys, sorry, my bad, and then she would have got her own series. Not even just like the Mandalorian movie. She would have got her own series, and likely at least a cameo, if not a full role, in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Probably.
She would have got a feature-length Disney featurette. It's so she fumbled the ball.
In order for her to do that, that would take accountability, and I don't think that's a word in her vocab.
Nope.
No. Well, I mean, look at it this way. She basically ruined her career for a fat check from Disney, and then she just disappeared. Because people didn't believe this. She the only thing people found interesting about her was that she and Disney had beef with each other. Once that beef was settled, and she's not allowed to talk about it because she signed an NDA in the settlement, she's no longer interesting to any of the people that were supporting her. So she's literally hireless at this point.
They only liked her because she validated their points. Now that she's gone, they don't give a shit anymore.
I mean, the former industry workers' morals have dollar amounts? Shocked.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Can I say something a little off topic, just for quickly, going back to the Avengers stuff?
Yeah.
The rumors going around today about that Avengers Doomsday runtime is very unlikely. Very unlikely. There's rumors going around that it's like 3 hours and 45 minutes. They didn't know that yet.
No.
I saw Omega's face like, damn.
I'm seeing it everywhere being like, oh my god. It's like they wouldn't know that yet. They would not know that yet. It's too early.
They have additional photography they're doing in like 3 months.
3 hours and 45 minutes? Holy shit.
Hey,
they wouldn't do that.
I mean, even if they did, people would still watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, but most people wouldn't.
Right. I mean, most people didn't watch Zack Snyder's 4-hour superhero movie. So.
Avatar pushes it with what I just watched it today with their 3 hour and 20 minutes. That's pushing it. That's I think your maximum I think you can push.
Watching those Avatar movies is like watching a Peep Show on loop.
Is it a Peep Show on loop?
Might be fun. Might be fun to look at the first few times, but there's not much substance there after a while.
I quite liked this newest one. I liked it more than I thought I would. I kind of went in being like, oh, another Avatar, and I was like, hey, there's some good stuff. And then the final act kind of.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Like the first few acts are great. The final act, it kind of just falls flat. That's what I'm hearing.
That's how I was. I was like, oh, they're doing new and interesting stuff. Like I was like, I think this is my favorite Avatar movie. And then it's kind of like the third. It's like the same third act they've done now 3 times in a row. And I was like, yeah, all right, you've lost me. Yeah,
I tapped that after the first one. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I don't really care to see the second one. Then when it's just like Chris says in chat, like they made the same goddamn movie 3 times.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, there's a lot of similar beats and I would
say the third act is very similar to the third act of the second.
Third act is what kind of because I was getting ready to go. Like there's a point where it's like it feels like it's about to wrap up, and I was like, all right, that was a fun movie, and there's another 50 minutes. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I just don't really have any desire to go any further in that series. I saw the first one. I'm like, I don't really need to see anymore.
Fair.
All right, this is we're gonna do the super chat, and then we're going to do our list because we are at the 2-hour mark. Latin Sharky with the $2 super chat. Did you hear what happened to Evangeline Lilly? Yeah, apparently she has brain damage from a accident.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate. She posted on social media that she's going to some sort of rehab right now for the brain damage that was done.
Yeah.
So
that sucks.
So yeah, I don't know much details about it, but I heard about it, or I read about it briefly. So thank you for the super chat. All right, so here we go. We're going to be doing, and like I said, if we have a little bit of time at the end, we'll talk about the fights, but we need to finish at the half-hour mark, so we'll see what happens. All right, so this is Lone Wolf wanted us to talk about the rumored fights in Avengers Doomsday. So,
no.
Yeah, if we have time. We're, like I said, I want to. If this goes, if this goes beyond the 30-minute mark, we will definitely not be able to do it. If we end before 30 minutes, we might actually check it out. So, all right, here we go. Let's spin it. What were you gonna say, Jake?
Are we on here an uneven amount of times?
I don't think so.
What is it? Is it everybody's on there 5 times?
3.
3?
Yeah.
I see 4 Omegas on there.
Is he on there 4 times?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, there's 2 of them on top of each other. I see that. All right, hold on. It's this one. Wait, hold on. Where is it at? Right here. It's that one. That's probably the only one because I had to add them onto the list.
Okay.
So, all right. So we are doing our top 3 biggest mistakes that the MCU made. Our personal thoughts on it, like. Right,
Okay.
Do you have a list or no?
I have a list.
Oh, all right. Cody says The Way of Water and Fire and Ash are one movie. I felt the same way. I think it's one long movie.
It does.
Those two feel like it feels like one long movie in 2 chapters, and the first movie is its own thing by itself, which is why I think 3 is my favorite. Yeah.
So
I feel like 3 is my favorite because it's the end of the second movie, technically.
Yeah.
So for Edis was looking at this for emojis. We want to do lightning is good and I don't know, fire is bad.
No, because fire is like something's good, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Frog is bad.
Frog is bad.
Frog is bad. Fuck you.
Okay,
Cameron.
so lightning is good, but what happens when a frog gets struck by lightning? The same thing. As
Same thing that happens to everything else.
Yeah,
Damn
so
it,
lightning is good, frog is bad. All right.
My favorite scene from those stupid X-Men movies. I don't give a shit.
Oh.
All right. Oh. Darren is first. All right, so what is your first biggest mistake in the MCU?
Biggest mistake.
Cut out.
Am I all good then? Am I cutting out?
No, you're good.
I feel like a lot of these are kind of
good.
like parallels of each other. I think a lot of these mistakes around this era were like a domino effect of like this affected this, affected this, affected this.
Well, just
So
pick
you'll
your
probably
favorite
see
ones.
these-
Yeah.
You'll see that through when I do these. My first one was canceling the OG Marvel television shows back in 2019 to 2020. Eric, we've talked about this many times before. I think it's looking back on it, it's so silly to see that they had this incredibly built-in fandom and fan base of iconic shows like the Netflix shows, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, to do their own set of series on Disney Plus for a lot of money for them to either not be received well, to not, some were obviously good, but for the most part, not received very well, just for them now to realize, what they were doing, let's just do that. Let's just bring back Daredevil and Jessica Jones, and let's bring back what worked about those. Let's actually bring in real writers that worked on TV to work on TV. Oh my god! What a mind-blowing idea. And if you just did that from day one, you would have solved so many issues if you just let those crews and those writers and those actors just transfer them over to Disney Plus, and then just kept on doing your mainline movies with some of these characters like your Sam Wilson and stuff like that. Then I think a lot of the issues you're seeing in the MCU right now would not be the case.
Darren, you stole my You stole my answer.
It's a pretty big one. Like
That's
that
what
was-
stole my
happens.
answer. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm not surprised, but yeah, you stole my answer.
All right.
Sorry, my friend.
I got something else though.
They
Oh,
did.
speaking of
Oh,
stolen
there
answers.
we go. Please don't steal mine, Omega.
All right.
I don't know. I might. The entire Fox X-Men series. All
Oh.
of those ass movies.
Now that it's all
that
included with
never
Marvel,
have
it's
been
got
made.
everything's
X-Men
been retconned. So
No, it was so bad. The dude who played Cyclops literally said, "Yeah, I played a woman in this one," and he left to go be in Superman.
And Brian Singer went with him.
Superman Returns. Yeah, that and Brian Singer literally. Because I remember there was I was watching the behind the scenes of it. He was saying that he didn't want any of the actors reading X-Men comics.
mhm.
That's why none of those characters were
And Brian Singer didn't really want to do X-Men.
yeah,
I
he
don't
didn't really
think, so.
he literally said he did not really even like the X-Men movies. So I'm like, oh god.
Plus, Brian Singer's a dick.
Well, yes, the entire.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I know some people like some of them. I think Days of Future. No, First Class was actually decent, I guess, but still is based off wrong. And then you got those Wolverine ass movies. Oh god, it's just I don't like them.
Deadpool's good.
Yeah, Deadpool. Yeah, all the Deadpool movies. Those were the X-Men done right.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, that's you.
Oh, it landed on
me.
I was kind of shocked. All right.
Because I don't have a second one around that.
The Inhumans TV show, like that was one of the biggest mistakes they ever made. And I've
Yep.
talked about this quite extensively. I think anybody that's been here long enough knows how I feel about this. But Scott Buck doing Marvel content on the cheap is one of the worst decisions they ever made because the cast was good. They had a good cast, and they ruined it by making the showrunner somebody who wants to save a bunch of money for them, putting an ad for Hawaii in the middle of the season, which I thought was really fucking weird on the show, teasing it as a 2-part IMAX movie for the first 2 episodes, which really didn't make much of a difference. It was just a bad show. I would have to get like a $50 super chat, Eric. If I got a $50 super chat, I would rewatch the whole season.
How
It was for
sad
$50
is it-
super chat.
How sad is it that out of the two shows Scott Buck made, Iron Fist was the better one?
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, I honestly didn't hate Iron Fist. Was it the greatest thing ever? Absolutely not. But
Iron Fist was better than Inhumans. It was bad, but it was better than
I mean,
Inhumans.
season 1 wasn't great, but
Yeah, season
No,
1
it's-
was great. They greatly improved on season 2, but by then
Yeah.
it was too little, too late.
Yeah.
Wish us Dexter fans a safe travel because next year Scott Buck is coming back for Dexter.
Oh, he got a job again. Okay.
I saw that. I was like, God damn it!
All right. Who we got next?
Oh,
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 Okay.
poor
I got
Jake.
all right. Omega, what's your next one?
Someone already said the Inhumans, right?
I got one that I know nobody.
Yeah, I just said it.
Yeah, you just said the Inhumans.
I didn't say Iron Fist though, so
No. Damn it, I had one, but I can't. No shit.
all the stuff that happens in the MCU and you can't come up with a second one.
That's quite a
Yeah,
few.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
I had one. I don't remember it. Jesus, I forgot it.
You could just skip if you want.
Yeah, just skip me for a second.
Oh, okay. We'll come back to you.
Come back, yeah.
If you think of it, you can do both of them in the next time it picks your.
Yeah.
Ooh, me again.
Back to you.
Yeah. Waiting too long to put out the Black Widow movie. We should have gotten a Black Widow movie or a Black Widow Hawkeye movie in like phase 2. I don't know why they waited until the beginning of phase 4 to give Black Widow a movie. That made no sense to me whatsoever.
Well, there were those troubling emails about women-led superhero movies not selling too well and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. So that was a big mistake. You had the potential to do a movie about Hawkeye and Black Widow together
Yep.
a story that was already well set up within their lore in the MCU, and you don't do that.
Yep.
It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Should've
So
been
for
right
me, that's
after Avengers 2012.
absolutely.
Right after.
I mean, because when I looked the other day, the last Iron Man movie we got was in 2013. The third Iron Man movie came out in 2013. You could have slid a Black Widow movie in there because you already got rid of Iron Man. She premiered. She made her first appearance in the MCU in Iron Man. So,
Two. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here.
I'm gonna get to go. Nope.
Oh,
Maybe.
Oh, it's you.
there we go.
So this is one I've talked about before. I had a feeling nobody was going to take this one. It kind of goes, outside of the actual Marvel cinematic stuff, if you will, and that's what a number of us refer to as the Parliament, which is that creative roundtable that likes to meddle their fingers in and say, "Hey, do this here, put this here, insert this thing here, rework these things over here," and it creates a clusterfuck of a mess. Whenever you see a lot of these actors, whether it's David Harbour for Black Widow, you can go look this up, multiple points where he says throughout the interview the movie was different, but they wanted these changes, they wanted certain things put in, they wanted this. The they that all of those actors are referring to when they say that is the Parliament, the creative roundtable, and I use the word creative very loosely, that likes to just meddle around in everything. And that's why a number of those MCU films, especially in Phase 4 and 5, had that produced by committee feel to them, and just why Marvel felt very product driven for a while. And we have been slowly getting away from that with films like Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, where we've been getting away from that. And hopefully, I hate that this film especially was a victim of it, but it seems like Captain America Brave New World was like the last of the big films to be affected by that. So hopefully we are now far, far removed from that time. So yeah, that's my first one.
Okay. All right, let's spin the wheel.
Omega, you remember your thing yet? Okay.
Oh.
All right, he remembers it. Oh, it's me again.
Yep.
Back to back.
We'll just let Omega do his when he gets picked next time. So, all right, Jake.
Second one I had is going into their next set of projects pretty damn quick after Endgame, instead of actually letting that sit, letting the impact of it breathe for a while and carefully planning out what to do next. Because, when you look at Phase 4 and 5, they introduce a lot of new characters in other films, sure, but they absolutely failed to plan out where those characters would appear in subsequent projects. Case in point, we haven't seen a character like Simu Liu's Shang-Chi since his own movie, and it'll be another 10 months before we do see him again. No. And they just heavily lacked in the forward planning because they frankly didn't take the right amount of time to plan for those things. And honestly, granted, the world shut down. We didn't know a lot of what was going to happen, but they could have taken more time than they did to sit and think long and hard about what they wanted to do. Now, granted, they had a plan and got dealt the worst hand possible in multiple areas, perfectly aware of that. But I think rushing into their next number of projects hardly any time after Infinity Saga ended was a bad move.
Okay. Spin the wheel. Oh.
All right, Omega.
Man, Darren is still waiting.
I still got 2 on the board.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, now I remember. WandaVision not going anywhere, really. It's like we had I love WandaVision, but we had so many. I guess it was more like the fans' mistake because we had so many
theories of what's going on. Like, wait, is it Mephisto doing this or what's going on? And it all just for her to end up just wanting be her pretend kids.
Did you have another one? Or is that
multiverse? Yeah, that and Multiverse of Madness not really going anywhere. That kind of the same WandaVision because they do kind of connect. It's like, I was like, are we going to see different? Like, are we kind of do, especially when the Illuminati of that one world is like, but that was kind of it.
Jake is twitching right now. Like,
I was like, look, I love those movies, but it's like I wanted something else. I wanted more from them. And are we strictly doing the cinematic universe?
No, you can do the TV side too. You can do side.
Well,
or any Marvel, any. Well, I mean, you can do that too. So go ahead.
Yeah. The Avengers multiplayer game. What the fuck were y'all thinking with that having the Avengers storyline mission multiplayer? What the fuck were y'all thinking? And then they don't even look like the MCU Avengers.
No, they don't.
It's like, okay, you had Ms. Marvel. She looked good. Everyone else, what the fuck?
Oh, Iron Man looked like he came out of that damn Anthem game.
Oh no!
Oh man, look, I played Anthem. I pre-ordered it. I got it for my birthday when it came out.
I played that shit too.
Yeah, that game was good.
Damn. Skip Darren again.
May as well just do my final once.
My last one is not handling sequels correctly. We got a couple sequels that I can think of off the top of my head that they just dropped the ball on. One of them is you had $1 billion movie called Captain Marvel, and you decided it was very smart for you to release a second Captain Marvel movie with her name out of the branding and not properly set it up as a sequel. So it seems like a completely separate movie with characters that were never in the movies, really, other than Captain Marvel. And I realize there was a strike going on. I understand. But they also did the same thing with Captain America Brave New World. It's another sequel they dropped the ball on. They just did not handle these sequels correctly. It seems like somebody lost their mind when they were putting together these movies and how they were going to market them.
What are you talking about? We got an Incredible Hulk sequel.
Which one?
The one that didn't have Hulk's name on it.
Right. No, I truly believe that they've had some really good ideas, but they've incorrectly implemented them into films, because The Marvels is actually a fun movie. Like, most people that watched it after it left the movie theater enjoyed it. Like, they made it out to seem like it's like one of the worst movies ever made, and that's just not true.
Yeah.
It's not one of the worst movies ever made.
Nope.
It might be forgettable, and it might not be great, but we've reached a point where there's no space for just okay movies. And I reject that. It's an okay movie. It's not awful. It's not mind-blowing. It's an okay, fun movie. There's going to be mistakes in okay movies. One mistake doesn't make a movie shit.
Let's stop pretending like everything in the Infinity Saga was flawless.
That's true.
It was not. Yeah.
And I can't wait to talk about that on my essay video.
So, Lone Wolf, by the way, the Parliament, that was the first thing I brought up. So don't worry, that got mentioned.
All right, here we go. Is Darren going to get to go first, or is it or a second time, or is Jake going to be able to wrap it up first? Let's see. Quantumania is another one, Chris. Yeah, I don't think they properly handled that movie either. Mm-hmm. Oh,
it's Darren.
Oh,
he might.
Oh, damn it! Now I think of a better one, but maybe one of y'all get it.
We'll see. All right, my next one. This could pretty much be applied to almost everything people talked about today. In theirs, and I think it was just this very general thing that's been happening since Endgame, and it's now hopefully fixed up with everything that they've slowed down on, and that's just Kevin Feige being stretched too damn thin. There were those interviews that came out where he said he was stressed, he was tired, he would be going to one set to the other, to the other, to the other. He didn't know what was happening on certain sets. He very clearly was just letting certain productions just kind of do their own thing, and then on other ones he was doing too much work on some of those projects and didn't let them have enough free reign. Jake, this goes very well into look like what you were saying about the like freaking council of whatever of them just like interfering and stuff like that. Yeah, and I think this is just a big one. Like I think like one of the bigger versions of this is actually I think the two worst examples of this is Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion, I think, was one of the biggest ones that he clearly was nowhere near. He just let them do their thing, and Love and Thunder, I think, is another one where he clearly was like, "Hey, you made for most people, you made a good third Thor movie. I trust you to do your thing again. And he clearly had a little bit too much freedom. And it seems like in this new era, he's a lot more relaxed. He's more chill again. It feels kind of similar to where we were in the Infinity Saga over these I'd say year, with everything kind of getting back to normal. So I'm glad Feige has some time to sleep now, comparatively to where he was.
All right. Are we going to get a double whammy from Darren, or is Jake going to get to go? Let's see.
All right, Darren, put him up. Let's go. I'm kidding.
Oh, it looks like Jake is going to take it. All right. There we go. All right, Jake.
So, since this one is, coming up at the end of the list, so to speak, I might as well talk about something that comes up at the end of a lot of these projects. Mm-hmm. And that is post-credit scenes that went nowhere.
Yeah, that also goes into what I was just saying. Yeah,
that relates to a number of them from earlier about just not planning things out. Because, just off the top of my head, we have, here is, the voice of Blade talking to Black Knight. Are we going to see that again? Probably not.
Hercules.
Here's Hercules. Here's Harry Styles. Here's whatever the fuck else I can't really think of right now. Here's Tom Hardy's Venom, which we might get a payoff there. And there's just so many things that we never got a payoff to, or by the time we do, people will have long forgot about it. And it's not going to feel like it's one piece of a connecting thing anymore. It's just going to feel like, oh, this thing exists, and then it left a little bit of its tail hanging outside of the dog door. And a lot of the stuff, it just doesn't connect together. And, the post-credit scenes used to be like an extra punch that got people to go like, oh, I want to see what comes next. And lately, you've either had these ones that, sure, maybe look cool in the moment, but you have no idea where they're going, or you have ones like Captain America Brave New World, where, the character gets told something that we as the audience already know. The character really didn't need it in the moment, and it's just a bunch of very bland teases for the future. Now, Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four have slowly been going away from this issue to where their credit scenes tied directly into what some of the next projects are, which is how these post-credit scenes worked in the past. And yeah, it has just been an absolute mess lately with these post-credit scenes.
All right, that brings us to Darren and his last one. I think
of 3 more right now that would have been better, but
that's hindsight.
Hold on to them because we'll probably do this topic again.
My last one, and I want to say I don't necessarily blame Marvel for not doing this because it clearly was not their fault. Like I've said, they had a COVID, they had a writer strike, Jonathan Majors, plus the people running Marvel at the time, and the world ending every other week. But I will forever mourn not having a normal Avengers movie in between Endgame and Avengers Doomsday. My 99% of my issues with this current lineup for Avengers Doomsday would just be fixed if we got an Avengers movie without Robert Downey Jr., without Chris Evans, without the X-Men. The fact that we did not get a movie with just Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Sam Wilson,
Black Panther.
We're going into an Avengers movie and we don't know who the Avengers are.
Yeah, I will forever, and this can even be tied into I've pitched it for years. Screw the Secret Invasion show, make that Avengers 5. I think that would have been awesome. I think that would have been so cool. And at the very least, some sort of event movie to wrap up the phase. They need this saga, at least phase 4 and 5, needed an event film to really solidify and reward the fans who stuck with it, who have watched literally thousands of hours of their content. And it, I'll be honest, as a fan, I do feel a little undercut. It's like, wait, I spent all these hours binging all of these shows and movies, but you're just going to bring back Downey and Evans for the casual audience anyway. So I'm kind of like, Did any of it mean anything? And again, I don't blame them. I understand. I like they were literally about to with Kang Dynasty, and then the Jonathan Major stuff happened, and so again, I don't blame them. But it's just so damn disappointing, and I will forever mourn that movie.
So to War Hero's point, the whole thing about Thunderbolts, while I love that movie, I'm not thinking this is a knock against it, but that movie brought together a bunch of characters that half the audience didn't know because they were introduced in TV shows.
Yeah.
And other characters that they hadn't seen in a while, so it's not like, you had just gotten off of a previous adventure with them, or maybe it had only been a year. Like, you had not seen John Walker in 4 years, you had not seen Yelena in 4 years, you had just seen Bucky in Brave New World, yet there were so many of these characters you had not seen in a while, and what I've been saying is, like, with each progressive film that we got past, as we're leading up to Doomsday, like, Darren, what did me and you always say? We still don't know who the Avengers are. And I think, honestly, as much as I agree with the whole sentiment that Secret Invasion should have been honestly, it should have been 2 Avengers movies, but I think Captain America Brave New World would have been the perfect opportunity to at least establish what that team was. Hell, do it in a post-credit scene where, you pull of Age of Ultron, where Sam walks into a room and then you see a bunch of new Avengers recruits. Boom, you got it right there. You have that. But
I mean, even to that point, like, you could have made Captain America 4 the Secret Invasion plotline. Like, that would have been, like, it's almost there. Like, have the storyline about, like, the government literally not knowing who to trust and who not to trust. It's very close to what they were already doing with this, like, espionage kind of storyline. So you could have done that, which could, you could throw in Nick Fury in that project, so you can kind of keep that whole storyline, which could lead into your Secret Invasion Avengers movie where no one knows who to trust, so they have to bond with each other to learn. Like, it writes itself. And again, I get why they couldn't, but it does suck.
Well, let's be honest, that should have been Captain America 5, because we've said this so many times. Falcon and the Winter Soldier should have been retooled as a Phase 4 passing of the shield.
I thought about putting that on my list of just like, that should have been.
Well, that honestly applies to multiple of those shows, though, that I think could have been retooled and worked better as films.
Hawkeye should have been a movie,
I want to also point out that I think Secret Invasion wouldn't really have worked for multiple reasons anyway, because you could only have the Skrulls replace characters within a block of time. Because what happened with that show is they did what they did with Rhodey, and people rejected it. It became like a campaign about, he wasn't there for Tony's death and he wasn't there for XYZ and everything. And people rejected it, which, honestly, that is the stakes of Secret Invasion. That's what it's all about, is finding out that people you loved are not who they are supposed to be. I
think they rejected
that's the whole point.
So I think they rejected it because we had gone so long without seeing the Skrulls up until that point. Like, prior to Secret Invasion, we had not seen them since Spider-Man Far From Home. So it was just, when they came back in, people were like, oh, wait, who are these guys? Oh, they're suddenly in the midst of everything. Oh, you're telling us to care about them when we barely knew them before. And it felt a little forced.
But that's why those things work in comic books and not in movies. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, that storyline can work in a comic book, but it's really hard to work, or I'd say movie, in a TV show. First of all, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did it better with the model decoys.
Heroes did it better.
Right. Secondly, if we would have done a Secret Invasion 2-part movie, you could have had the first movie come out, right? And then spent an entire 3 or 4 movies until the next one comes out with a couple of characters that if you don't know if they're Skrulls or not. And then in that block of time, it gets revealed that they were Skrulls. That works because then you've had a moment to really see and recognize the stuff they've done. With Secret Invasion, the TV show, like Jake was saying, we went so long without knowing anything about the Skrulls or what they were doing behind the scenes. We find out the show, and then we find out a character who had no connection to that at all was replaced by a Skrull, and we're supposed to care about that based on that block of time. It just made people resent the whole storyline, to be honest. Secret Invasion was just wrong in so many levels. It was just wrong in so many levels.
That was the one I just remembered. That was a huge mistake.
We could rant all day about Secret Invasion and have.
I'd rather not.
And have.
So I want to read Cody's super chat here, and then we're going to wrap things up. And Lone Wolf, we will talk about the Doomsday thing on Thursday because Doomsday is so far out. We can speculate about it over several weeks if we want. Cody with a $5 super chat. I think if Feige did what he wanted to and started Captain Marvel in phase 1 and 2, the Marvels could have started her second trilogy. Maybe.
Yeah.
The thing that makes me so mad, I'm going to rant for a second. The thing that makes me so mad about Captain Marvel is I always defend that movie because I actually like the first Captain Marvel movie. I don't think it's a perfect movie, but I enjoy it. There's a lot of movies that I like that aren't perfect movies, right? I always defend it and I go, the movie is worthy of $1 billion because of a lot of reasons. And quality isn't some sort of metric for $1 billion. Look at Minecraft, right? So you can't really argue about the quality thing. All you can say is that people went to see it more than once because that's how you make $1 billion is repeat viewings
Minecraft made $1
movies.
billion. It's a better movie. No, a bunch of kids went to go see it and act a fool in the theater. That was
Right.
it.
Yeah,
But people go back multiple times. You reach $1 billion nationally by people going to movies multiple times if you're not seeing big box offices overseas. That's the only way that happens, right? So my argument has always been that the movie did exactly what they needed it to. They placed it between two Avengers movies. They established her as an important character, and they put Nick Fury in it. So it was a movie that a lot of people wanted to go and see, and that makes sense. But you had that success, that $1 billion thing with Captain Marvel, and then you just drop it in the sequel.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. You could have still called it the Marvels. You could have called it Captain Marvel and the Marvels, or Captain Marvel, the Marvels. There's ways you could have branded that. You dropped the branding name, which I think was a problem with Thunderbolts. You call it the fucking New Avengers 2 days after it's in theaters, and all these billboards change and go, it's the New Avengers, which is the spoiler for the end of the fucking movie. It's the big reveal at the end is that they become the New Avengers.
Yeah.
You essentially spoiled your fucking movie.
And the 90s set piece also did help the first Captain Marvel stand out, so there is that too.
Yeah. I don't know. It's whatever. I feel like there was a lot of mistakes made. Hopefully they tighten that up in the end. The reason why I wanted to do this topic and the reason why I even put it in there, and I'm glad it got picked, was people always accuse me and anybody on the podcast of basically just saying only good things about the things that we love.
We ignore the bad things.
I wanted to point out that we are critical about stuff without calling it woke or DEI or any of these other things that people say. I could pick out a million reasons for why I don't like stuff that I generally enjoy that have nothing to do with those dumb complaints. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to prove that by introducing this topic. And so that's why I was trying to be very specific about the things that I had issues with, because I think a lot of those are really important factors. With that being said, though, I think we have reached the end of the stream. Make sure I got all the super chats there. Let's see what you guys picked. And by the way, in like 5 minutes, we're going to close the stream. We're only 1 out of 5 super chats in the Debunks channel. If people want to hit the goal over there, there's bonus content that I will announce if we hit the goal. It's not a poll. It's literally something that I will announce if we hit it. So it's 4. We need 4 out of 5 over there within the next 5 minutes before I shut everything down. If anybody in the Debunks channel, so. Guys,
YouTube is killing this channel with the candid conversations that we have.
All right, so the winner by overwhelming majority, 60% of the vote, is most anticipated movies and TV shows of 2026.
And you know what? Just for the hell of it, can we throw games in that?
Sure.
Cool.
Sure.
Wait, what was it?
Our most anticipated movies and TV shows of 2026.
Oh, okay.
And then I said, let's throw games in there.
Okay.
Yeah, movies, games, TV shows.
Okay, cool.
All right, that's on the list now.
Heck
So, Cameron says that I think the MC mistake is putting the multiverse and time travel together. I think they did that to try and streamline it to make it make sense for them, but I agree this is probably a big problem for them.
And I mean, sorry, go ahead, Darren.
I was just going to say, like, especially makes no sense now that we've merged in things like the X-Men movies, the Spider-Verse movies, all, the Fantastic Four. It's like, when now you're...
How do you explain those branch timelines? They don't even make sense.
It makes zero sense.
You do it like Michael Keaton did it in The Flash. You get a mush of spaghetti.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But no, like I was even talking about this with Darren like a week or so ago. I think that you put Black Widow in Phase 3 where it should go, and then you have Spider-Man Far From Home, and not the biggest fan of that movie, but you have that be what starts the multiverse saga, because even though the whole notion of Mysterio being from another universe ends up being a lie in that movie, it still introduces the concept and teases the concept of the multiverse to lay it out for the whole saga going forward. And then, 3-4 movies later, you get the multiverse broken, and it's Spider-Man who's at the fault of that. So
Right.
I think that would have been a much better start to multiverse saga than Black Widow, which realistically didn't do a thing.
Yeah. The X-Men Doomsday trailer is out. We watched it I watched it at the very beginning of the stream, and then we talked about it for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Superior Nav. So it's like the first 40 minutes of the stream are about X-Men. Which I could have talked about it for the whole stream, to be honest. I could talk about X-Men for 4 or 5 hours if we wanted to talk about it. Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we will at some point over here. Anyway, all right, so about 2 minutes and we're going to call it. Anybody, before we do that, though, does anybody want to shout out anything they're doing right now before we wrap things up?
Pipeline Thursday. Good episode.
Have you already said who's in it or no?
Declan. I don't know if anyone knows him, but he's been a big part of like the Arrowverse community over the years. DM Films.
Okay.
We talked and broke down every comic book movie or like movie and TV show that's coming out this year, which was fun.
Oh, nice.
Hey there.
Even your games, Jake. We talked about your Wolverine game and your Batman game and your Black Panther Captain America game that's not coming out. Most likely not coming out.
I mean, it'd be nice.
What about you, Jake? Anything to shout out?
Lost Levels this upcoming Sunday. We were going to do this past Sunday. I got fucking sick. So we are back this upcoming Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, with more Return to Arkham and, the normal stuff. Let's Plays, rankings, retro reviews, all that stuff. Got a couple bonus videos on the way that I'm experimenting with and trying to hit 2K by the time Comic-Con rolls around. We're 200 and change away. I think we can get there.
All right.
Oh,
Omega, any stuff?
Aaron.
I just posted a picture earlier today on DeviantArt, and also on if any of you follow me on Instagram or Threads, it should show up there also. I should have posted the Blue Sky, which I may do that later today. But yeah, that's about it. It's kind of just another D&D character I had in mind.
Oh, nice.
Working on another one now.
Darren, I'm scared.
Are you?
A little bit. Every time I see you open that book, I get worried.
Oh, hell.
Omega, I have a question for you.
Okay.
How do milk cartons greet each other?
How?
With a milkshake.
Oh my god.
Goodbye.
Anyway. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate everybody being here. I'll be live again on Thursday. So make sure you stop in for that. I thought I had something else I was going to talk. Oh, the after party was this past Saturday, where I talked with Paigey for like an hour and a half. And he basically talks about all the things he hates. So if you want to go check that out, go check it out on the channel now. It's up there. We announced the next one, which will be on February. The next after party with Paigey will be February the 7th, which is the first Saturday of next month. All right. With that being said, we're out. We will see everyone later. Have a good night and take care. Hey there. If you're seeing this, that means we have reached the end of the stream. Thanks so much for your continued support with comments, likes, subscriptions, super stickers, and super chats. I just want to give a special shout out to all of the channel members who have contributed to the success of this channel with paid tiers. On the screen, you will see your name displayed as a signal of appreciation from myself and the channel. If you would like to see your name on this list, consider selecting a tier with the join or plus button, depending on your platform. Thanks again, everyone. Let's hang out soon in the next stream, and I'll see you then.